Championship Series.
No, there's no doubt that we should be playing Oklahoma for the national championship. We beat Florida State head up. We're the deserving party, but we're in the Sugar Bowl, and Florida's our national championship game. We're going to be out, and this is our game.
Back in October, Miami climbed all over Florida State early and then came from behind to win in the fourth quarter. They strutted like the chest-thumping Canes of old. But the BCS computers snubbed them. Tonight, Miami states its case for being number one. Steve Spurrier and the Florida Gators don't consider themselves mere cannon fodder. Led by freshman quarterback Rex Grossman and freshman wide receiver Jabbar Gaffney, they hope to bury Miami's dream in the Big Easy. The fuse is lit at the Nokia Sugar Bowl. And it's burning ever so brightly inside the Louisiana Superdome at the Nokia Sugar Bowl. For the first time in 13 years, Miami plays Florida. Welcome to the new Ford Escape pregame show on ABC. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brent Musburger. Well, if you thought Florida's election was bizarre, take a look at that state's simmering football controversy. Now, the BCS computers boosted Florida State into tomorrow night's championship game against Oklahoma, even though Miami beat the Seminoles 27-24. The coaches who voted Miami number 2 have an agreement to crown tomorrow's winner as their national champion. But the media voters are on their own, and a sampling around the country indicates they will vote for Miami if they win tonight and Florida State handles unbeaten Oklahoma. And if that isn't confusing enough, folks, what about Washington? The Huskies win the Rose Bowl. They've only lost one game, and they beat Miami earlier this year. There's only one clean way to end it all. That's for Oklahoma to wind up the only unbeaten team this year by upsetting Florida State tomorrow night. Now, our fellows are already on the scene in South Beach. John Saunders and Terry Bowden. And John, I hope it's warmer in South Beach than it is in New Orleans tonight.
Brent, I hate to tell you, it's a little chilly here, although these fans are going to warm things up. Now, there's a couple of ironies, of course. The fact that Miami would like to be back here at home playing for the national championship. But the other is Florida renewing their hated rivalry with Miami. If they win, they would help out their most hated rival, Florida State.
John, we may not even need to worry about a split national championship. Earlier this week in the newspapers, Steve Spurrier made his predictions. Florida will beat Miami, and Oklahoma will beat Florida State.
That remains to be seen, but one thing is fact. Miami did beat Florida State, but the Seminoles say they're not worried about a split national championship.
Many people will say it would be a tainted title, but in my opinion, it won't be. Because 15 or 20 years down the road, no one's going to remember that there was a split title because both of us will be wearing rings.
Nothing has been more overstated than whether these players care if there's a split national championship or not. Florida State knows one thing for sure. If they beat Oklahoma, they're national champions. Miami also knows one thing for sure. If they lose to Florida, they're not going to be national champions.
The stage is set. Act number 1 is coming up. The coaches are ready. We'll get back to Brent and Gary in the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
Everybody, with my partner Gary Danielson. Gary, let's start with Miami. What about their weapons in this game?
Oh, Brent, they've got weapons all along. They can power you with the running game, but they have great balance and an extremely focused football team, and I would be too if I was Ken Dorsey and I had 2 receivers like this. They've got a lot of NFL teams that would like to have Santana Moss and Reggie Wayne as a pair of receivers. These 2 guys got the speed and the power to come across the middle as balanced an offensive football team in college football.
And across the way, the SEC champions from Gainesville, what do they counter with?
Brent, I think when you look at Florida, you look at athletes and you look at a lot of big game experience from these guys. They've got a hot quarterback and they got a hot running back that's extremely important. Ernest Graham, 169 yards in the SEC championship game. He must come through to help a young quarterback.
And here come the Canes. Butch Davis, who has done a fine job of resurrecting this program. Let's go down to Jack Arute.
Well, one of the changes at the end of the season, Brent, was the loss of defensive coordinator Greg Schiano to Rutgers. Coach, how did that affect things?
Well, fortunately, all the position coaches obviously stayed intact. We worked really hard. I helped a lot with the game plan, but these guys, Chuck Pagano and Vernon Hargraves and Greg Mark, these guys did a great job, and our players obviously been together for about 2 years. They're ready to go.
And your defensive leader, Morgan, middle linebacker, how important is he to have a big game tonight?
Oh, God. Well, obviously, as talented as they are on offense, it's all of your defensive playmakers have got to step up tonight and have good games.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
So both sides a little nervous, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff.
The new Ford Escape pregame show, brought to you by the new 2001 Ford Escape from Ford Outfitters, the most far-reaching sport utility vehicles on earth.
Folks, it is flat and nasty outside in the 30s with a fierce wind at 13 miles an hour. The water just cuts right through you, but inside, comfortable 72 degrees with Lito Shepherd back deep as the Gators win the opening toss. No deferring on Steve Spurrier's part. He took the ball right away with Todd Sievers set to kick it off here for the Canes. Short. Ratliff at the 10. Well short of the 20-yard line on a high, fine kickoff, allowing the coverage to get down the field. And now, redshirt freshman Rex Grossman leads the Gators out onto the field. This is a young man who lit up Auburn in the SEC title game in Atlanta with 4 touchdown passes. He's from Bloomington South High School in Indiana. They won a state championship there. And after that performance against Auburn, he was voted the MVP, and he now brings the Gators up to the line for their first down. Ernest Graham, the ringleader. The Gators will try to mix it up, but you know Steve Spurrier. We've got to get long and get there as soon as he can. Grossman looking deep. Comes down the near side. He's got Gaffney open. Gaffney incomplete, out of bounds. Out of bounds on the reception. It was close, folks. Gaffney shaking his head like he thought he had it.
A double move on the first play of the game. Gaffney, the playmakers, going right at it, right at Rump. Play action pass. Here's the end of the play. Beautiful throw, and just the right foot lands out of bounds.
So it'll be second down and 10. Big 12 officiating crew. They were all over it. Fake to Graham again. Intermediate route, and he misses Gaffney again. Let's take a look now at the Nokia offensive lineup, and it faces a third down. We mentioned Graham. He rushed for 169 yards in the SEC title game. He will see action. We've seen Gaffney. Horatio Caldwell, number 17, the other go-to guy. The offensive line. Notice the tackles, folks. Mike Pearson and Kenyatta Walker. Outstanding. They protect Grossman from both sides. Kenyatta may leave school early, wind up in the NFL. That would be a big loss for Coach Spurrier, who cannot believe that he didn't hit that first down play. He now faces a 3rd and 10. Bo Carroll goes into the pass formation way deep. Don't even know what he was throwing at that time. That was over the safety's head as he faced a rush back there. And now Grossman is a little bit gimpy. He appears to be okay now as he trots off to the side, probably more embarrassed than anything.
Well, Brent, he was knocked down on his first 2 throws, and if I thought there was one matchup that favored Florida in this game, the biggest one would have been their offensive line against Miami's defensive line. So far, Miami has knocked him down twice in this game and forced both bad throws.
Santana Moss would dearly love to haul back punt number 5 for a touchdown. That's right, he's returned 4 already. Allen Ryan knows he's up against a dangerous one here. So the Canes looking to jump early. Deep off the right. They try to seal Santana up on the sideline, try to get an extra defender. He spins away. Here he comes, folks. 45. He's a magic man. Out of bounds at the Gators' 41-yard line. Woo. Whoa, is he exciting. That's a 27-yard return, and punter Allen Ryan is forced to knock him out of bounds.
He's one of those guys that is so good, Brent, that Butch Davis, whose teams have blocked 39 kicks in his career, said we had to change our style. We don't go for as many blocked kicks as we used to because this guy's so valuable when he has the ball in his hands. We go for the returns now.
Now Kenny Dorsey brings the Canes out. They'll work with half a field. Good opportunity to strike quickly. Dorsey dumps incomplete. Reggie Wayne, the intended receiver, he objects to being pushed after the pass. Now let's check in with Jack Arute. Jack, was Grossman shaken up down there?
Yeah, Brent, when he came off to the sidelines, he was favoring his right ankle. In fact, he was limping on it just a bit. He has not, and I repeat, not sought any medical attention, however.
You can see that's the third down play, but he gets rolled over just as he lets the ball go.
I think I saw Big Damian Lewis blowing that offensive lineup that time. He usually plays well in big games. Second down and 10. Come back with Jackson. He spins away to the 38. Alex Brown making his stop. And so Kenny Dorsey, who has come all the way from California to the East Bay area across the bridge from San Francisco. First team all Big East, folks. That's important because he beat out you-know-who. One Michael Vick, who lit up Clemson for Virginia Tech yesterday. Butch Davis, he will be calling the defensive plays as Greg Schiano has moved on to the head coach of Rutgers, so he has lost a top assistant for this game. Canes need to reach the Florida 31-yard line. Dorsey stays in the pocket, throws, caught, first down. Miami right at the 30-yard line, and he kept it low, couldn't be well defended, and picked up Santana Moss.
Yeah, you can see the difference in the protection, and they complete him.
And here is the Nokia Miami lineup with James Jackson there behind the freshman DJ Williams. The offensive line, again, two more outstanding tackles, Bryant McKinney and Joaquin Gonzalez. We have got four just simply superb offensive tackles in this football game. Now on the first down, Dorsey, incomplete. Now defensively for the Gators here tonight. This is the defensive line. Buck Gurley shaking off that injury. He'll play. Gerald Warren is probably the best of that inside group. Travis Carroll, the transfer from Alabama. We'll have to watch the run against Miami. Miami, a very balanced team. And it's Lito Shepard and Robert Cromartie who need to tune it up on the corners. They were torched up in Tallahassee. And Alex Brown, one of the ringleaders, gets down and ready to go now with Clinton Portis in on second down. Dorsey going to fire out of bounds. He wanted Santana Moss, but there was superb coverage by Cromartie, the junior from East Point, Georgia. Number 25 was there, has his hands full every time he goes with him, Gary.
Story of the football game so far is these quarterbacks don't have time to set their feet. Makes it easy to cover these guys. Speed guys. Nice job putting that little butt into him right there, but the ball was clearly out of bounds, and that's because so far the pass rush from both teams are dominating the quarterbacks.
And that's why we've got these stats. Dorsey's 1 of 4. Grossman was 0 of 3.
And Brent, I got to say that surprises me. These two offensive lines I thought would be able to handle the pass rush.
Using dime coverage here, 6 defensive backs for Florida, and a timeout by Dorsey. He'll go over to the sideline. So Miami will sort it out. First quarter of the Nokia Sugar Bowl. How close is this series? Florida leads by only 1 game, and folks, 19 of them have been decided by a touchdown or less. So a rivalry renewed. And now Miami with a 3rd and 10. They need to reach the 20-yard line for a first down here at the opening quarter. Shotgun from Dorsey. Throw underneath it, and Dorsey goes down, incomplete to Santana. The story of this game is the pressure, the heat being brought, and number 13, who's playing with a little bit of a black eye, has got vengeance on his mind, folks. He was the one casualty that we know of in that Bourbon Street brawl last Wednesday night. Somebody apparently came over the top and decked Big Alex as a rumble unfolded over there.
Well, he almost gave Bryant McKinney, the great left tackle for Miami, a black eye, his first sack ever.
47-yard field goal attempt. No good. So Todd Severs misses the 47-yarder. Neither team can strike on their first possession, and the ball goes over to Florida. So far, Gary, this game has been dominated by both defensive lines.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Miami, a running team, predominantly a running team, they've only run the ball one time in the game. Florida has not rushed the ball yet. Both teams need to slow that defensive pass rush with a little bit of a run game here.
Grossman leads the Gators back. Is the slot man, and they'll try Ernest Graham, and off a second effort he makes it to about the 31-yard line, but it was all effort against this Nokia defense. Now here's the defensive line with William Joseph and Damian Lewis, numbers 92 and 94, playing very well off the start. I don't have to tell you about their middle linebacker. Number 44 is simply the defensive player of the year in college football. Dan Morgan captured every honor imaginable. These fellows with their hands full. And there's a first down to Caldwell. Turned upside down at midfield by Edward Reed, the safety. But it's a 20-yard gain. And now the Gators are on the move.
Well, you talk about the great tandem of wide receivers for Miami. But in Caldwell and Gaffney, you know Florida, at least in yards, is better than them. Of course, they throw the ball more, but Caldwell's emergence in the second half of the season has really given Spurrier another great weapon.
Philip Buchanan, the corner, was well driven off the ball that time by Caldwell. And so Grossman now fires, and this time he's got Caldwell on the other side. Down at the 36-yard line. That's another Florida first down. 13 more yards, and number 17 stands up for Grossman.
Well, we take a look at what Dell Game Solutions, when Florida has the ball, Steve will probe and then look for precision. You see he's found something already in the curl pass. Graham is the man. He has to run the ball. Miami's defense must contain, and they must tackle. That's the key to the big plays for Florida. If you miss your tackles, they'll take it to the house.
So Grossman, who has a superb record in high school and college ball on artificial turf, takes it back again. Hit on the release to the middle. And bobbled. Incomplete in the end zone as Buchanan juggled it, and it went into the end zone.
William Joseph again coming inside, putting pressure and forcing the quarterback to throw the ball before he was ready. Should have been intercepted, could have been intercepted by Buchanan, I guess. Would have been a tough catch. But the ball was off target again because of the thing that everybody who's ever thrown the ball knows. You can't throw it when someone's right in your face. Right at the end, big 94. Joe, look at that. Right off the back foot. Can't do it very accurately like that.
Second down and 10 for Grossman and the Gators. In the middle of that Florida offensive line is under fire. Play fake, fires high, incomplete, and off the hands of Mike Rumpf, the DB. And you know, we've talked about artificial turf and how you cut on it, and I asked quarterback Rex Grossman why he seemed to be so successful on turf in the Dome.
In our offense, it definitely helps, you know, because it's a very precise offense, and you got to make sharp cuts and run good routes. So definitely, you know, we like to play on AstroTurf in the Dome.
Timing means everything to Spurrier's offense. This is 3rd and 10. He needs to pick up the first down. He does just that. And he puts it into Taylor Jacobs' hands.
Very simple. Everybody wants to know about Spurrier's offense. There's no magic here. Flat curl coming inside. One guy goes out, one guy comes in, throw the ball right to the curl. It's the first pass play you put in. One guy goes out, one guy comes in. That's as big a hole as you can have throwing the ball. And when you give them time, that's the precision that quarterback Rex Grossman was talking about, Brad.
On this drive, Gary, Grossman's completed 3 passes already, 46 yards. He's driven them down inside the 25-yard line on the move. Well blocked this time, got a man wide open. It's Cope. Takes Knocks it on in. Kirk Wells from Riverdale, Georgia. A 23-yard scoring strike from Rex Grossman to his tight end. All alone as the Canes blow coverage on it.
You're right. Probing and probing and probing. Sends two receivers one way, and then you cross the tight end underneath. This is no big deal. This is no magic. You don't have to go down to visit the University of Florida. Everybody's got this route. This was a blown coverage by Miami.
Whistle before the snap. So that was a very impressive 70-yard drive by the head ball coach over there, Mr. Steve Spurrier, and Rex Grossman. Al Dowden takes charge here, and there's Steve going right to work with Rex already.
Yeah, he says he's learning. That's what he always says. He's learning. How's Rex doing, Coach? He's learning. He's learning. That's about as good as he'll go for him. But he did say in that SEC championship he was spectacular throwing the football.
Gary, this is the third time. That's a snap.
Offside on the defense. After this is a go. Try again.
I assume they just go ahead and kick it. Ordinarily, that would help you if you needed it to. Gators don't hear early in the game. You know, Gary, this is about the third time we've seen the head ball coach here in the last month. And Spurrier comes up with new wrinkles. He had that well read when he sent that tight end right straight across the field. You used to that play in the NFL.
No, that's a very simple one, and I'm surprised that Miami, that plays a lot of man defense, let them cross like that.
So Jeff Chandler adds the extra point. And Florida strikes first on this one to Kirk Wells, the tight end. Simply nobody there. 7-0. Florida leads it.
The Nokia Sugar Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by Inspired Technology with a Human Touch. Nokia, connecting people. Honda, a winning lineup of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans. Accenture, Happy New Year to everyone everywhere celebrating the future from Accenture. Dell. And Sears and the Sears National Champion Football Trophy.
138 games under Coach Spurrier in Gainesville, and they have at least one touchdown pass now in 133 of them. Absolutely phenomenal. So the Canes looking to rally here with Andre Johnson and Darrell Jones back deep. Jones will come out. Busts into an opening. Forced out of bounds at the 37-yard line. And it was Ratliff who got him out of bounds. And a reminder that Wednesday, January 10th, on a brand new Drew Carey show. It looks like it's the last call when the city tries to close down Drew's favorite watering hole. It's a brand new Drew Carey show, Wednesday, January 10th at 9/8 Central, right here on ABC. Never miss one of them last calls, folks.
They extend them for you, Brad. You know that.
First down and 10 for Miami. Down and touchdown. They'll come back with Jackson and see if they can run, and they've got a little something going on first down.
Yeah, only the second time this game that they've run the ball, and they need to do that. Let's look at the Dell Game Solutions now. For when Miami has the ball, they need to pound the ball. They got a great offensive line for Miami. Then they need to protect the ball. Florida has 40 takeaways, and then they need to protect the quarterback to get the big play. Florida's defense, they're very quick. Quickness inside out will produce big plays for the Florida defense. Come right up the gut at Dorsey. He does not scramble well.
They continue to move Alex Brown over toward the strong side of the formation. Now they stand him up, back him off the line. Dorsey on a short drop. Beautiful to Santana Moss. Santana stays on his feet to the 39-yard line for 18. He's a little fella, but he's strong.
Yeah, well, you got a guy like that, Santana Moss. You got a quarterback that checks off to an easy slant here, and look at him. I like him. I like him because, yes, he is very fast, but he doesn't give up on a play. He tries to finish it off with a big play. He just doesn't fall down. He gets extra yards. Brent, when you watch him practice, he's like a coach on the field with his teammates. A wonderful player.
Goes down at the Gator 39, and Dorsey going to throw it again. Snaps it off to Reggie Wayne. A penalty flag. Wayne has enough for the first down pending the outcome of this penalty. Lito Shepard is the defensive back.
And there's the difference. There's the physical wide receiver in Wayne, who's just all over Shepard, who he says, listen, you might not be as fast as you, Lito, but I'm going to take you right up the field and just physically back, and in a timing route, Dorsey puts it right there.
There was a 12-yard gain on this pass.
Yeah, they'll decline that penalty.
Holding on the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
So the Miami Hurricanes here in the Big Easy are on the drive, trailing Florida 7-0 in the Nokia Sugar Bowl on a very cold night outside, but very comfortable inside. The only touchdown, Grossman to the tight end, who flared underneath for the score, and Kirk Wells with his 3rd touchdown of the season. 1st and 10. Fake Dorsey has time, fires, bad pass, almost intercepted, threw behind his target that time.
That's a bad omen for Florida right there. Remember the Florida State game when Benny Alexander dropped the interception, and then Florida State stuck it in the end zone right after that? Here's one that Florida could have had it. Coming from the outside, pressure from the outside. Alex Brown gets it, forces Dorsey to throw the ball just a little early, and this one could have been a pick. Should have been a pick. Dropped right there, and they give this Miami offense at 2nd and 10 another opportunity.
Robert Cromartie took a shot at it. Comes back 2nd and 10. Corners are well off Moss and Wayne. They go in end zone. Wayne, double coverage. Johnson was there. Not a good decision by Dorsey that time.
Don't understand that one. He had Moss coming underneath on the square, and then Moss turned around and looked and said, why not me? Dorsey, the heady quarterback, went for it all when he had an opportunity to throw the crossing route to the wide receiver in motion that time. Great matchup at left tackle. Brian McKinney, the All-American, All-Big East, 6'9", 300 pounds, matched up usually against Alex Brown.
Canes need to reach the 16 for a first down. Incomplete. And it is 4th down for Miami. So a good stand by the Gator defense against Butcher's offense.
That's 2 in a row that this Florida defense has stalled the Miami team when they were in position to put points on the board, and it's going to be another field goal try. That one was deflected at the line of scrimmage that time.
Todd Sievers, kicker from Iowa, trots onto the field. This one will be another 44-yard attempt. Missed one already tonight. Trying to get the Canes on the board. Looking good. He's got this one. So Miami kicks a field goal. And they cut into Florida's early lead.
This is the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
Well, the heady Ken Dorsey here got a little greedy. Here's the free safety, Todd Johnson. Reggie's going to go deep. Santana comes in motion and comes across on a square end. Dorsey does not find the free safety. You can't throw the ball there. That's a sure interception. The ball should have come out into this area right here where he had a possibility of hitting Moss, just clearing the linebacker. Dorsey, very fortunate to get away with not getting that ball picked off.
12 plays, Garrett. They've already thrown it 10 times.
Incredible, isn't it? Had 22 plays here and only 3 runs in the football game.
Sievers drills it, and Shepard will take a knee. It'll come out on the 20-yard line. Well, Grossman has been under fierce rush here tonight.
He really has, and I really got to give it to Miami's defensive line. But what I like about Grossman is he's getting rid of the ball. He's not taking sacks, and it ended up paying off later when he got the tight end of the touchdown pass. You get a sack, it really turns that down and distance against you. A good job by a young quarterback to get rid of the ball under pressure. See, 4 for 9 to me means nothing because he's had to throw the ball away a couple times right there. There's our whacked and sacked.
Slot formation to the right. Press coverage by Miami, and Ernest Graham will try to get the running game going. A powerful young man from Fort Myers to the 26-yard line. Edward Reed and Danny Morgan in on the stop. We check in with Jack.
And Brent, that hurrying that the defense for Miami is doing on Rex Grossman, and more importantly, the thrashing after the throw is exactly what Butch Davis talked to his defense about when they were on the sidelines the last time. He said, fellas, keep getting after Grossman. Keep putting him on the dirt. He said it'll pay us dividends in the second half.
Yep. 2nd down and 3 now. Damian Lewis trying to get off, and he does beautifully. I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Number 92 is a big-time defensive lineman. We've been talking, Gary, for the last few weeks that this Miami defensive line is not as good as it once was. But I want to tell you, number 92 can play with those.
He does. He just kind of runs around the block right here. I don't think Florida, the middle of Florida's offensive line, is the strength of their football team. It's more their tackles. That time, David Jorgensen trying to block back the center, ran right through it, did Big Lewis.
We had last call with Cortez Kennedy last night, and he couldn't have done that any better. 3rd down, one of many of the fellows from both teams here tonight. Right at the mark. This is going to depend entirely on the spot. The pass to Caldwell, and I think he's going to give him the 1st down. He did.
Heady play that time because Miami knew the down and distance, tried to come up and take away the short pass. Buchanan did. Caldwell catches it, and then he stretches it out. Very aware right here. Look at squat. Receiver's going to squat. Perfect throw. Now watch Caldwell, like a touchdown, stick it out. That is being a heady football player.
And they gave it to him, Gary, right there at the just beyond the 30-yard line for 1st down. Caldwell off big tonight. So here's 1st down for Grossman and the Gators. He's got time. Wants the home run ball. Wants Caldwell. Hangs. Got it. Spins loose of the secondary. Cut from behind at the 21-yard line. Chris Campbell, but it's a gain of 47 yards. And the sophomore from Tampa is doing a great job, but unfortunately for the Gators, I believe there's a penalty down there. Is it against?
Celebration, 15-yard penalty. Caldwell went to one knee.
Unsportsmanlike celebration against the offense. Be a 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Caldwell went to one knee and put it out. Coming down here, they're going to go hitch. Remember the curl plays have been running? This time, curl and go. And they get it. They get it against Rump. Watch a little hitch. Comes down, stops. Rump squats. The ball's thrown to the wrong shoulder. Beautiful play. Caldwell overruns it, gets it, reverses his field. And then watch at the end of the play. This is, to me, is ridiculous. This is not a big deal, but it is the rule. That's not it. That's not it. A little bit farther. That's it right there. I've got a play-by-play guy going nuts in the press box right here.
No comment. 1st down and 10. Ball at the Miami 37-yard line. Now Grossman back under pressure, fired, and it's on the ground. Miami's got it, but it's an incomplete pass, and I think that's a good call.
Yep, swapped right out of his hand that time, coming from the backside. I believe it was Chris Campbell, I'm guessing, the linebacker who came around the backside to swat it. Coming from the outside right here, yes. Tight end that time doesn't do a very good job. Walker, and Campbell comes from the backside and swats it just as the ball. And I'm not sure. That ball was kind of swatted. And if this was the NFL right now, you might get this one. Yeah, that was before he actually came forward. Chris Campbell, who has 4 sacks this year, kind of swatted it.
Yep, I agree with you, Gary. 2nd down and 10. Now, Bo Carroll is on the field. They send him out and run back with Graham. They lined up Graham as a fullback that time, trying to ambush the defense. And our aerial coverage tonight provided by Nokia, and I hope they have got a heater outside in that helicopter, folks.
I hope we. This is one of the times you love the dome on a night like this, doesn't it?
Got that right here at the Big Easy. What a great town this is for a party. Get a brunch over at Commander's Palace. Close up with a little dinner at Brennan's and a little football. I mean, folks, you can't beat it when you come here.
Miami playing very deep, almost 10 yards off these receivers.
3rd down, snap high. Had Gaffney on the slant. Threw high, and again, there was pressure coming that time.
It was Campbell again. The linebackers are starting to make an impact on this game. Miami only has 24 sacks on the season, but the 3 leading sack producers are the 3 linebackers. They each have 4. This time, Grossman backs up and had to throw it way before he was ready.
Here's where the penalty really hurts Florida. They have backed Jeff Chandler up. He's going to try a 50-yarder. Now he's got a strong leg. He's inside, so conditions should be ideal. No good. And the penalty proves very costly to Florida. You bet, great job. Damian Lewis is off to a huge start, and now Ken Dorsey and the Miami offense ready to go, trailing Florida 7-3, 5:38 to go in the first quarter. Najee Davenport into that backfield. You would expect Miami sooner rather than later to try the running game. They picked their spot to the 36-yard line, and over on the other side, Gary, we think Caldwell is a story after the penalty.
Yeah, after the penalty, he did not participate in the rest of that series. He was on the sideline. Here's the end of that hitch and go or curl and go play. Gets up. First part's okay. They're going to buy that. The officials are watching it. The second part, they say, no, that's enough. That's pushing it too much. He goes down to one knee, and he gets called 15. And exactly right. It changed the play calling for Spurrier the rest of that series.
Second down and 7. Here comes Jackson again. Searches daylight. Crashes across the 45-yard line for a Miami first down.
Right across that yellow line, right across, very simply, the power game of Miami. One of the best offensive lines I've seen Miami have in years. Great offensive tackles. Brett Romberg, their center, very physical, good feet guy. And Jackson, I mean, this guy wants the ball, and he wants to carry the team on his back.
Romberg has enjoyed all of New Orleans while he has been there. Here's Jackson again, quickly to the outside. And Jackson to the 39-yard line of the Gators, and the young man, a senior from Belglade, Florida, and he is off to a good start on this series. That's a gain of 16 yards. He's now carried 5 times for 36 yards here tonight.
Right, he's the 5th time in Miami history that a back has gained 1,000 yards. He had 98 yards against Florida State in the game, and this is going to make the coverages a lot simpler for Dorsey when he wants to throw the ball. Here comes the safety in.
They send Jackson out as an extra receiver, and then they run Davenport, the fullback, who's a powerful runner. He's to the 25-yard line. So the running game is taking control here for the Canes.
Yes, and Florida had a mistake, a mental breakdown on this play. One guy goes in motion, and 2 Florida guys follow the motion that time. Miami comes right in that area, vacated, and run the ball. A perfect call. Miami probing with the running game. Florida, mental mistake costs them.
All rushes on this drive so far. First down. Jackson motions out of that backfield again, and they come right back. And Davenport is popped in the middle that time. Hit hard. Travis Carroll and Mike Nattiel in on the tackle. I think you can see 59 really bring the lumber in the middle of that play.
And that's really the difference in this Florida defense. When Mike Nattiel, Travis Carroll, and Okendo Johnson took over, Hardiman also in linebacker, the run defense got better for Florida since the Mississippi State game when they got torched. No team has averaged 4 yards per carry in a game against Florida.
And this time they send Jackson wide side. They're going to throw back to him on a quick screen, and Jackson's loose inside the 15. That's another Miami first down. Some very, very creative play calling. There is a yellow flag we see down at about the 11-yard line right now. Gary, this is outstanding play calling right now.
Once you get the running game going, and this is how Miami's balance really drives their offensive power. Their balance, keeping you off balance on defense, really makes it go.
Dead ball. Personal foul against the offense. After the first down, be a 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's a tough penalty, and Butch wants to know who it was and what was it right now.
I didn't see it. Usually what happens in that situation is a lineman is running downfield blocking someone after the whistle is blown.
So that's costly. It brings the ball all the way back to the 30-yard line.
Ball is down. There's one of the linemen. Yep, exactly. That's exactly what happened that time. Bibla, number 65, gets a late block, and they're going to call it.
It's going to be a first down. Back at the Gator 30.
Moss and Wayne right here in tandem right there. You can't do any type of jamming when they're like that.
And Clinton Portis in as the running back. They send him to the formation. They throw deep. They've got Wayne. Jump ball, got it inside the 10-yard line. They had him open against Benny Alexander for 21 yards and a first down.
Both quarterbacks again. Ian Scott, number 97, forced Dorsey to throw this way too soon. Watch the big guy on the nose tackle, comes right up the middle, busted assignment. Dorsey has to let it go to avoid the sack, and he trusts his big receiver can go up and get that ball against Alexander. The ball was thrown about 15 yards short. Defensive lines are dominating the football game so far.
First and goal. Here comes Jackson back on the field, and he is stopped by Warren. And well also gets off the bottom of that pile. Jackson eyeing that clock, checking the situation, looking at replays that show up there. You see so many of these fellas, collegiate, the NFL level, always looking up there, replays. Second down and goal. Jackson. Well defended that time by Lito Shepard, a young defensive back, and going to be a real good one. Just come up, just delivered the pop.
That's what's so tough against Florida. When you talk about what a defense, what team speed means, it means it's hard to get and run around the corner. When you try to stretch this defense out, everybody runs from the inside. You got linebackers filling inside, forcing that back, no room to cut back, and letting your DBs come up, this time for Shepard, and take their feet out from under.
Third down.
Here's your two guys right here, same side.
They send Wayne out, a bit of a slot receiver. They can cross him over there. Manuel goes out, and then they bring Santana inside. But Dorsey looks back the other way, and he's got his tight end, Jeremy Shockey, who caught the game winner against Florida State, scores here to put the Canes ahead for the first time tonight. It was the running game.
Absolutely. Got that Florida defense off balance. And when that opened up, all of a sudden receivers were wide open, and Dorsey on this one was brilliant. Took something off the throw, and his timing was impeccable.
And the extra point is added. So Jeremy Shockey, the tight end, puts them ahead with this touchdown.
Beautiful play. Going to run the back to the flag. The tight end comes out and curls back under. But watch the quarterback, the timing he has. Lets it go before he even gets in the open. Just lays it in there. When you got a receiver coming to you, throw him a soft one. When he's going away from you, throw him a rock. And it's exactly what Dorsey does. Just lays it easy, catchable ball.
One of the nice things about Shockey as a tight end is how much downfield speed that he also has as he reacts.
Yeah, plus he's 6'6", third leading receiver on the team, but a well-conceived play right there.
See him over there receiving a little attention. Sometimes on this artificial pitch, you get a little abrasions. They'll just slide around. I know that's frequently a problem in the NFL. 10 plays, 66 yards, 448. Speaking of the NFL, how about them Saints, Mr. Danielson?
Well, this town is really fired up. Everybody we talk to thinks they're going to walk right into the old Metrodome there and win the next one now, aren't they?
Hey, easy, fellas. Easy now. It's going to be tough up there. Shepard getting ready now.
It was the run game, though. I think they really changed the pace of the game.
Absolutely. Once they found the run game.
Hey, are they piped into us up here? Because we were calling for it.
Great kick. Great. Shepard right at the goal line. High and coming out. And goes nowhere. Pounded at the 10-yard line. Miami Miami gets down with Marquise Fitzgerald, number 27, delivering the blow.
When you kick them that high down to the goal line and the speed that Miami has on special teams, very, very difficult to get any type of return. You got linebackers that run 4.5, and then the secondary guys are coming right in there at 4.4. They're going to get you inside the 20. All right, let's see if Florida now can establish some running game of their own. Ernest Graham needs to get involved in this game plan. Here I am telling Steve Spurrier what to do. This is a great job, isn't it?
The ball coach doing what he likes to do best. Gary got his running back, but with the forward pass out to the 20-yard line.
You bet. Check downs, check downs, check downs. That's what Steve believes in. That means when you fake to the back and it's not there, you can drop it off to the faking back and pick up big yards. Get up there and run another one.
And get a snap off here.
Caldwell's back in the game.
One for the first down.
Still short.
Very close. And Morgan, number 44, the fierce warrior. As we come to the end of the first quarter at the Nokia Sugar Bowl, let's take a look at our Nokia action highlights. We had 2 touchdown passes, and it's 2 tight ends. First, it was the Florida Gators. And then Miami came right back. Tight end for tight end on the Nokia action highlight from New Orleans.
You're watching ABC's coverage of the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
Just what you'd figure. Tough physical football game here, Gary.
Nobody's backing down. They didn't back down on Bourbon Street. They ain't going to back down on here on national television. I think both coaches also have adjusted their game plans. Miami's found the run game, and Steve continues to find different players to throw the ball to. Tight ends, running backs. That's a good coach, both sides.
You've got a tough quarterback, too, Mr.
You
Grossman.
do. I really love the way Grossman is really not making any bad plays. He is a gamer. Really like the kid. He's going to get nothing but better through his career.
Grossman in the pocket. Boom, dropped Gaffney as Blades came over to defend it at the 40-yard line, and Jabbar Gaffney knows that he let one get away.
Absolutely. Complete it right where you want to complete the crossing route, right between the hashes, and Grossman has learned quickly, but what you like about him is the way he throws and timing. Steve says he's a playmaker. That means he sees things happening before, just a little before they do. He's learning every day, but this is what separates all great quarterbacks. Got that little swagger that you can't teach. Here's Steve's little formation. I saw Miami practice against it. They're ready. They only have 2 guys up here, though, to defend 3.
And Grossman hits the wide receiver, Alex Willis, for the first down on the formation for 13 yards.
I don't know why. I saw Miami practice against this formation. It was in their package of trick plays, but they did not react to it well, and all of a sudden they just complete an easy slant play. You give Steve Spurrier 5 weeks to throw a game plan together for you, and I think he gets ready. They're going to do it again. Here's one tackle down to the bottom. Walker, another tackle. Pearson up there. Look, he's in a receiver stance. I love it. The big guy to the top of the screen.
Almost picked off as Lito Shepherd on the field as a wide receiver, and Edward Reed, who has 8 interceptions already this year. Folks, almost had number 9, and he would have taken it for 6.
And Butch Davis said, if we got one guy on the field that's like a coach on the field, it's this guy. Comes up Reed, he's got, as you said, 8 interceptions, but he switches the defense. He's the coach on the field, and when you lose your defensive coordinator, you need somebody like that to take over. Between he and Morgan, they've got 2 great ones. Oh yeah, that's the end of the trick play.
Second down and 10. Carroll motions out of the backfield. Grossman middle, high and incomplete. Well, you know, Danny Werfel had a great night here once for the Florida Gators. Won a national championship. He's down below with Jack.
And Brandy's a Heisman Trophy winner as well. And, of course, we're talking about Danny Werfel, who led these Florida Gators to a national championship. As we watched Rex Grossman tonight, Danny, what are the similarities between he and you?
Well, hopefully the biggest one will be that they'll win the Sugar Bowl, too. And, you know, he's got a lot of poise, and, you know, he throws real well taking a hit, which is real important in football, obviously.
Hold on a second.
We'll come right back down. 3rd down and 10. Danny just arrived in town today, having arrived with the family from Green Bay, and there's a flag. The linesman over there on the side will trot on out to the referee. And let's go back to Jack.
Danny, you talk about those hits. You got an awful lot of them against Florida State, so much so, and as I remember correctly, Steve Spurrier brought it up. What does a quarterback have to do when he gets hit? You don't want to show the defense that you've been affected.
Well, the biggest thing you can do is just try to focus downfield. You know, you're worried about the coverage, completing the pass, and if you can get up, you get up. I'm just thankful the Lord blesses you get up. Sometimes you can't, but you do what you can.
Now, did you say anything to Grossman about how to handle Coach Spurrier?
Oh, absolutely not. Coach Spurrier, I think, is one of the greatest coaches in the game, and he can get you ready. He surely knows how, and so he's got the privilege of playing out here tonight. I sure wish I was.
Good luck in the offseason.
Thanks a lot.
Gators under pressure from the Hurricanes here, trailing them 10-7. Grossman looking deep, has time, picked off at the 45, incomplete. They rule it incomplete. It was a nice effort by James Lewis, and for a moment I thought James might have had it over there on the far side.
He could have. Gaffney kind of hung out Grossman that time. Grossman thought he was going to come inside on a curl route, and Gaffney doesn't come inside. He tries to go outside on the ball. That's big miscommunication. You see the ball just hits the turf, and again, Florida very fortunate to be able to punt the ball here.
Santana Moss back deep again. Alan Ryan, the senior punter for the Gators. Santana driven back inside the 25, slips that first man and works the sideline out of bounds, picked up 5 yards after shaking that first downfield man with an 8-yard return. 10-7, Miami leads Florida. Back at the Louisiana Superdome, and you could call this game 1 of our 2-game national championship doubleheader here on ABC. Tonight, of course, it is Miami, ranked 2nd by the ESPN USA Today poll, 2nd by the AP, but not by the BCS computers. They dropped them down to 3rd. So tomorrow night, Florida State will meet Oklahoma for that title right here on ABC. And tonight, Miami trying to argue a case for an AP share of that title. Here's Jackson up the middle, breaks free. Fine 12-yard run by Jackson before Todd Johnson, the safety, brings it down. And Miami has discovered something with the running game here tonight.
Absolutely. You know, started off the game probing outside, but these big guys inside, LaFair, Romberg, Bibla, Gonzalez, McKinney, these guys are taking that Florida defensive line and say, all right, you want to rush our passer? Well, first you got to stop the run, and then you can go get our passer.
They've run on 8 of the last 11 plays here. They set up in that I formation with Santana. Coming in motion, and they'll come right on back with Jackson. And, of course, this makes Ken Dorsey's passing so much more effective. And he's thrown only 5 interceptions this year with 25 touchdowns. And I had a chance to ask Kenny about why so few interceptions.
That's what we've been doing all year, is just taking the easy passes and the ones that don't have a lot of high risk, trying to force balls into places, and that's really what's been helping me, is the design of the offense and the way we execute it.
Here's my impression, folks. A very, very bright young man. Sees things quickly and easily on the field. Has a very nice California-style personality. Liked him. Complete first down. Miami moves the chains again with Shockey, and let's check in with Jack.
Brent, one of the keys to this running game for Miami is the play of Bryant McKinney, their offensive tackle. Now, if you want to see, he has a 92-inch wingspan. How long is that from hand to hand? Well, we put it together with this pole. The only difference with McKinney is it's up here.
Oh, my God.
Are you believing that? Huh?
How do you get around that guy? No one ever has. He has not given up a sack, and this time he's matched up against the great pass rusher, Alex Brown.
First down. Jackson. Across the 45-yard line is Manuel coming up hard from that safety position to join the Gators in this run defense right now.
6'8", 330 McKinney is. He's only 21 years old. And he'll be a very rich man one of these days, isn't he?
Yes, indeed. Alex Brown comes trotting off to the sideline. Kennard Ellis steps into the lineup. And Alex has been slowed down a little bit here lately. Second down for Dorsey. Got his man underneath beautifully. It was Darrell Jones, young receiver from Dallas Carter High School, for 13 yards, working on Cromartie.
Well, when you want to run a good offense, you need a lot of guys involved in it. You run the ball, you give the ball to the tailback, you have those big uglies up front, as everybody refers to them nowadays, and then you fake it to the tailback once in a while and throw the ball to the outside. This is the balance that you have to do it. Look at the tailback, though. Jackson carries it, and he also blocks for Dorsey. Great job by Jackson on that play.
Jackson behind Davenport. Got the corner, and a penalty flag is thrown by the referee.
Well, very unnecessary by Gonzalez at the end of that play. He was holding after Jackson already passed him by.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty from spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Now it's time for Nokia's best connection. And that best connection was Kenny Dorsey to Jeremy Shockey. Miami leading at 10-7 with 11:43 to go in the second quarter.
And this is a brutal, one of those brutal penalties. The holding happened in the backfield, so you get it first and very long now.
Clinton Portis into the backfield. Play fake by Dorsey, and it's a good one. Got Santana Miles crossing one of his favorite patterns. Out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A beautiful play fake that time by Kenny Dorsey. Allowed Santana to break wide open, a 32-yard gain.
What's Florida doing? It's first and long. Same play. They're going to send one guy deep and Santana on the crossing route behind. But why are these linebackers biting? First and 25, easy pass read. Look at Moss, wide open. That's as easy as you can get. Pitch and catch. You don't have to even be really good to throw that pass.
Gary, that was just a beautiful play fake. You saw those two backers bite on it. They went looking at it up here. He sold it beautifully that time. First down now for Miami.
John Hope will not be happy about that. First and 25.
Portis out of the 12-yard line, and Warren making the stop. Of all the Florida defensive linemen, don't be surprised if number 61, Warren, doesn't go on to have the best career in the NFL. One of those inside fellas, and like Cortez and I were talking last, that's the one position it's so hard to find quality players around the NFL. You talk to folks, defensive coordinators and player personnel directors, they're always looking for those defensive tacklers. Second down now, fake by Dorsey, fires to the end zone, deflected by Manuel. Number 4 flicked it away, and not in here, not this time.
Really just a two-man route this time. Tight end goes out, and Dorsey tries to time it in there. Very difficult to throw down here when you're only sending two guys out. Those defensive backs, this time the safety is able to read Dorsey's eyes. Did a really beautiful job. Dorsey put it just outside his reach. Might not be as big as McKinney, but it was enough.
Question about John Hoke. Someday he could be moving on to become a head coach. He's the defensive coordinator. Look at the success Bob Stoops has enjoyed out at Oklahoma off Steve Spurrier's staff. This is incomplete, overthrown. It allows me to follow up on a story, and I know Gary and Jack Root and all of us here, we want to send our best along to John Cooper He was fired today as the coach at Ohio State. They were beaten by South Carolina yesterday in a bowl game. He had a tough record against Michigan and in the bowl games. John was always very nice, and his family, we wish him nothing but the best, and also the Buckeyes nothing but the best in their search. We have heard that Walt Harris, the head coach at Pittsburgh, would be one of the leading candidates. That's the gossip that we heard down here around New Orleans.
Well, he'd do a great job. He was there before when Joe Germain put him in the Rose Bowl.
Here's a 29-yarder now, and it is good. So Todd Severs, the sophomore kicker from Iowa, makes it 13-7 Miami.
The Nokia Sugar Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by Inspired Technology with a human touch. Nokia, connecting people. National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the Bowl Championship Series. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, move your money, get well connected. And Chrysler, we're reinventing the passion for driving.
Well, Steve Spurrier would like to get a return, and he has sent his fastest man, track man number 2 over there. He's a right man on your screen. That's Carroll, looking for somebody to get it downfield. There's great speed coverage coming from Miami.
He also can't afford to get Lito Shepherd hurt in returning a kickoff. He's too important to their game plan on defense. The way Miami's been knocking these guys around so far. This one's returnable.
This is Ratliff. Ratliff has a hole, comes right through it, shakes one, and down at the 39-yard line. A kind of return the Gators were looking for. Jonathan Vilma, backup middle linebacker. He's the middle linebacker of the future for Miami, and he makes a stop, but we do have a penalty flag down at the 39-yard line.
I think we're going to call another celebration one. This one, I don't understand. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. You know, usually I don't hope that.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, gets the receiving team, 15-yard penalty.
That one, I don't understand it. When Jesse Palmer's telling Steve what happened on the play, and this looked like a kid who was excited to help his team. You know, I don't even know if I want to watch it.
I'm going to offer a theory. And folks, it's only a theory. But these officials are so concerned about a Donnybrook breaking out here that they don't want anybody to get in another player's face and instigate something. I think that's why they've called those. A timeout is going to be called by Florida. I'm just guessing. 10:33 to go, and Miami leads it 13-7. Time for our Aflac trivia quiz. We saw Danny Werfel and we thought, well, who was the last defensive player to win the Sugar Bowl MVP? Danny, and last year Peter Warwick won it, but who was the last defensive player? Take a look at this, folks. This is why we think the celebration penalty was called on a little shake and bake.
A little shaking right there. That's allowed on Bourbon Street, but not here. Ratliff just a little pushing the envelope just a little bit too much, and he got flagged for 15 yards.
1st and 10. And Grossman to put it up. Could have been a flag thrown on that as the catch is made, and that is the first of the night by Jabbar Gaffney, and he was covered by Leonard Myers. That's a 13-yard gain, reception number 1 for number 10 tonight. Incidentally, the timeout was called by Florida because they had only 10 players on the field.
You're right, and I think what we saw during the timeout of Steve Spurrier talking to Gaffney, he said, listen, I'm going to get you the ball. You've got to help this team win. We need you, Jabbar. Catch some balls for us to beat this Miami team.
Here's Graham end around. It's Caldwell. Lewis tries to blow it up, slows it up. Not much doing that time as Blades and Mike Rumpf are there on the stop.
Well, Caldwell was one of the great high school athletes that come out of Florida in a long time. Quarterback, great basketball player, but you'd have to have been a magician to get out of this one because Miami said nothing is going to happen on this reverse. Steve brought the whole playbook.
The Gators with 166 yards and Miami with 202 here in the first half. And Spurrier probing to try and get something going, and there's another penalty.
Yep. Aaron Walker just flinched just enough to get 5 more yards. You know who's been quiet in the game, and usually when you play a Florida team, they are, is the middle linebacker, Dan Morgan.
Snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
The style of offense doesn't lend itself for Dan Morgan to make a lot of those tackles that he's so good at. The All-American middle linebacker, as instinctive a player as I've seen in college football in a long time. Very, very strong. He's like a counterpuncher. You can't block him. He just feigns away from him, and he plays every play all out.
Has 3 tackles so far on the night. Influences play calling, no doubt. And so far here tonight, the Gators have run 6 times, and they've thrown 20 times.
That may be his biggest contribution. He forces you to do other things, but this Florida offense, they want to throw the ball anyway. Graham has been very quiet in the game.
So Morgan gets ready defensively. Second down and long for the Gators. High, Gaffney has to reach and takes a lick as a result of going up in the air for the reception, and Leonard Myers cracked him. Well, ABC Sports is home of the Bowl Championship Series. Tomorrow night, let's remind you, the defenders, Florida State, led by Chris Winkie, the Heisman Trophy winner, will take on unbeaten Oklahoma, led by the left-hander, Josh Heupel. Let's take a look at how we compare Winkie and Heupel. Both have completed over 60%. Winkie has thrown for almost 1,000 more yards, but he will miss Snoop Minnis tomorrow night. Gary and I are in agreement. That's the fellow that just takes it up deep, and it's just a shame that Snoop's not eligible for that game.
Saw that interview. I really felt bad for the kid.
I do too. Just a shame. Third down. Grossman takes off. Stopped at the 42-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Probably going to force a punt here as James Lewis comes up on the stop.
And that was all coverage that time. That Miami defensive secondary that is so good. Remember, 3 of them were first-team All-Big East defensive backs. They all returned from a year ago. The other guy was second-team All-Big East, and they, that time, were in the proper spots to read that pass.
We saw Chris Winkie, and this secondary shut him down completely in the first half in that game down in Miami. It wasn't until the second half that Winkie started to move the Noles against the Miami defense.
I mean, 2 for over 400. Right.
Santana inside the 15. Looking to go wide. Needs a block. Penalty flag is thrown, and he might have got an illegal kind of block.
Down by number 28 on Keys Westbrook.
Yep. Well, we've had enough yellow here lately. So it's 13-7. Miami with lead at the Nokia Sugar Bowl as we take a timeout with 7:38 left in the first half.
You're watching the Nokia Sugar Bowl on ABC Sports.
Aflac answer, 4th down and goal for Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions. Here comes Matt Gooman, tries the middle. The stop is made by Barry Krause of the Crimson Tide, the last defensive player to win the MVP.
I remember that one.
That was some goal line stand.
It was. Right here, Sugar Bowl. Barry Krause. Look at the difference right here. We talked about it early, but now Miami has found the running game, and what a difference it's made to Ken Dorsey. Getting more and more even.
Coming out for the 6-yard line. Play fake and thrown from the end zone. Got one-on-one and incomplete. Reggie slipped and wanted a penalty flag. And let's take you back to that night in 1979. It was one of the great goal line stands in Sugar Bowl history. Here comes Matt Gooman, and Krause is there. Take a look from behind at this great photograph of number 77 as Gooman was up over the top and denied the Nittany Lions a game winner. What a fierce contest that was. Second down and 10.
That's got to make some of those Bama and Penn State fans a little uneasy. Why look at a picture of that? Neither one of them, you know.
And saying 79. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. From the end zone again, and it's going to be deep middle. He overthrew. Johnson up with it. Incomplete. Reggie Wayne at the end of the play was more a defensive back than a wide receiver. Otherwise, Johnson had had a pick at midfield.
You know, Brent, you called it overthrown, and I didn't first think it was overthrown also, but you can see the speed of Reggie Wayne come back and make this play. But the safety is set right in the middle of the field. There's Todd Johnson. This is just a big-time mistake by a quarterback that makes a living not making mistakes like that.
He's been off going deep middle twice, once in the end zone and now this one, Gary.
That's very unusual for a quarterback of Dorsey's reputation to do that twice in this game.
The Gators want to stop him right here and force a punt from out of the end zone. 3rd down and 10. Miami to run and pick their way, and Jackson short of the first down. But he did bring that football out, give him a little more punting room that time, so it was a fine 3rd down run.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a really bad series play calling for Miami that time. On 1st down, they went for the post corner, got nothing. 2nd down, they went for it all, got nothing. And then on 3rd down, they were forced to try to pick up a few yards to punt it. And they're going to give Florida now the ball around the 50-yard line.
This could be Lito Shepherd time, folks.
Absolutely. You can't give Miami the ball with 6 minutes to go, 6.5 minutes to go. Great field position.
Freddie Capshaw's first punt of the night. It's a beauty. Did they violate it? Absolutely. There's the penalty flag. It was such a good punt that the halo was violated, and that time there was simply no question about it. Aaron Mosier got down there and stepped into that 2-yard zone and incurred the penalty.
It's not a killer of a penalty. 5 yards, and it's
kick edge interference by the kicking team. The 2-yard buffer zone was violated. 5-yard penalty. First down.
6:38 to go in the first half. John Saunders and Terry Bowden are coming up at halftime. We'll take a break right now. Miami leads it. Here at the Nokia Sugar Bowl, Florida struck first on a touchdown pass from Rex Grossman. He hit his tight end, Kirk Wells. But since then, it has been all Miami. As the Gators took an early lead, but then Dorsey came right back. He hit Jeremy Shockey, and those are our 2 touchdowns. It's 13-7 Miami with the lead right now, and the Gators with their best starting field position of this game and looking to find something, anything they can here. Graham, the running back. Gaffney slotted outside the left. And the whistle prior to the snap.
Florida continues to just shoot themselves in the foot. Timeouts, not enough guys. Tight ends moving. This time the tackle moves.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Drop balls on passes. You can see it right there. Steve says, I can't call the game when we're going backwards.
Against Florida State, Spurrier was hurt time after time by big penalties.
Yep. That's one of those unforced ones that you got nobody to blame but yourself.
So that backs the Gators up to the 38. First down. Grossman, middle, got Gaffney at the midfield stripe and got him for a first down. And we check in with Jeff.
Brent, when the offense comes off the field, the first thing that Rex Grossman does is he sits down with Steve Spurrier. That means guys like Jabbar Gaffney sit on the bench and get very little input. Enter Jesse Palmer. Palmer may be the backup quarterback, but he is the man that literally coaches guys like Gaffney. During that last exchange, Palmer went up to Gaffney, told him where he thought he could get open, and then you see this catch. Yeah, good coaching by that backup quarterback.
First down and 10. Inside the 45-yard line. Grossman with a deep drop. Looking high. Incomplete. He overthrew Caldwell that time.
Well, the Miami corners are just squatting at about 10 yards. And the reason they're able to do that is Al Blades, the safety, number 7, is lined up extremely deep in the secondary. That means the corners are gambling, and they're waiting for Blades to kind of clean it up for them or save them deep if they're going to go deep.
And Lito Shepherd checks in again on offense. Number 3, and they line him up in that wide open formation again. Grossman pump fake, looking hit on the release by Morgan. Almost intercepted by Blades as a result, and it was Morgan pouring in on Grossman.
Boy, does that guy have some closing speed? Like a Stephen Boyd in Boston College or a Zach Thomas down there at Texas Tech. This guy is going to be an impact player in the NFL. All out, he's going to loop around the backside of this thing. And as Grossman tries to run the hitch and go this time, Morgan says, I'm coming, and watch him close. That's a big-time play.
Grossman this quarter is only 4 of 10 for 48 yards. He's averaging 4.8 yards a pass, and that's not good. Third down, and Grossman pulling down. High, caught, first down. Caldwell laps up another one at the 32-yard line for 12 yards. He has been the key receiver. 5 catches for 95.
Well, again, the Miami safeties are playing very deep. That means you throw the crossing, you throw the curls. There's nothing really magical here. Throw it against the linebackers. You see the corner's going to have to trail in, but there's no safety in the picture. Sooner or later, Butch Davis, Chuck Pagano, the 2 defensive coaches are going to have to move those safeties back up into the football game. You don't even see them in the picture. You see it. There's 2 guys in the box, 6 guys in the box right here.
And here comes Graham, and Morgan is there to meet him fiercely at the 35-yard line. The defensive player of the year, captured every award imaginable this year on the defensive side of the ball. Watch him step up into this hole.
Yeah, big-time player, and one of the reasons he does it is he knows what's going on that play.
So we talked about the Butkus, the Bednarik, and the Nagurski. First-team All-American, the Big East Defensive Player of the Year. Make him all of college football the Defensive Player of the Year. No one's ever won all 3 of those like that before. Second down and 12.
Bringing a safety this time. Little blitz, and Grossman knows it.
Clock running out on him that time.
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
6th penalty for 50 yards against Florida here in the first half. Jack.
Brent, there's a long-standing tradition for linebackers that involves the number 44, and one of the men that made it famous, you know, that Oklahoma Sooner, Brian Bosworth. There's a Brian Bosworth t-shirt that has been circulated for years. It was given to Dan Morgan. Morgan brings it to every game. At the end of this game, he'll have to determine a 44 next year to give it to, not necessarily on his team.
Second down and 17. Grossman drops it off in the flat underneath to Aaron Walker. Well, Friday at a new time, it is 2 guys and a girl and a house fire, followed by a brand new Norm after Norm goes to group therapy. It's 2 guys and a girl, followed by Norm, Friday at a new time, 9/8 Central on ABC. 2 guys and a girl, you got to go to group therapy. I mean, what else would you follow that with? And Shepard being tended to. Well, at halftime, we're going to have the Nokia $1 million pass. And our old buddy Joe Theismann teams up with contestant Tim Miller, who tries to win up to $1 million.
And I
Joe.
know Gary's worried about me, too.
He said, Gary's ready for me. Yeah. Well, to be honest, I couldn't beat him when he played for the Redskins, so I got a better chance tonight up here with the boot, the telestrator.
He told me to tell you no more cracks about Lawrence Taylor.
Okay. All right.
He's going to bring the Hogs out to pick up those blitzers tonight.
All right, it's 3rd and long here, and I think Steve right now says, listen, we'd like to get a first down, but what we'd like to do is get a field goal shot at least on this play right now. There's Chuck Pagano, the defensive secondary coach, and Butch Davis involved in the game plan. They've lost the defensive coordinator to Rutgers, Greg Schiano.
Jack, what's up with Shepard?
Well, believe it or not, guys, he has just a simple blister, and they had to minister to it, as they say. He's going to put his sock back on. He's fine.
Good. 3rd down and 12. Gators need to reach across the Canes. 21-yard line for the first down. Gaffney through the formation. Grossman, middle incomplete, and Morgan had Gaffney that time, and I mean he was all over him at the 30-yard line. They were looking for number 10, and Morgan said, I don't think so.
Ran a very similar play that they scored the touchdown on, but this time Miami's dropped in the zone and didn't give it. Both receivers come inside and then curl back out. Watch the tight end cross underneath. When Gaffney comes back out, nobody there. There's not open. Caldwell's not open, and the ball guy was thrown to Gaffney was not open on that play. Good defense.
This is a 51-yard attempt by Chandler. Kevin McKinnon is the holder. He's got a strong leg, got a shot at it. You bet. Cuts that lead in half with that 51-yarder. That's a big lift for Spurrier's Gators. 13-10, Miami leads it. Well, here at the Nokia Sugar Bowl, Miami arguing its case for being number one. And then tomorrow night at the FedEx Orange Bowl, you'll see the BCS championship. Florida State, the defending national champion, takes on the only unbeaten team still standing, the Oklahoma Sooners. Bob Stoops, and one of his assistants is Steve Spurrier Jr., and they've been on the phone with the head ball coach over here, Steve Spurrier, and Steve Jr.'s wife back home is expecting triplets any week now, and so Steve is certainly excited about that, and certainly Steve's wife. They've already got 3 grandsons, and one of the triplets will be a granddaughter. Here's a high kickoff now, fielded by Jones. Coming out, 15. Down at the 17-yard line. Some fierce special teams coverage by these two schools. That was Benny Alexander, number 30.
Well, Kenny Dorsey, if you're looking at him and trying to take a little bit of a scouting report of Kenny Dorsey, he's really not lived up, in my mind, to what he does best, and that's manage the offense. He's very accurate, prepared with the game plan. Great touch when he throws the ball. You saw that on the touchdown pass to the tight end, and steady. But today's steady has been marked by a couple of bad throws, and he's got away with a couple of them down the middle.
Gary has missed his last 4, too.
He has, but with 4 minutes to go here, I suspect this is where he feels most comfortable. Remember that great drive at the end of the Florida State game.
DJ Williams back in the game as the fullback, the highly touted freshman from California. Blocking, Jackson cuts away. Crosses the 20-yard line. They go to work on the clock here with 4 minutes left. And Travis Carroll, the junior linebacker who transferred from Alabama into Gainesville, makes a stop.
Well, Travis Carroll is the definite difference in this Gator defense. They had problems at middle linebacker when they lost Andre Davis to an injury early in the year. They went with a lot of young guys, but when Carroll got over that knee injury and was able to play, he had a little bit of a suspension during the year. If you can be a little bit suspended, he was. When he came in there and played well, they played well on defense.
Dorsey flashes underneath to the fullback, and Williams, who's an outstanding receiver, picks up the first down as he flashes out of the formation, and there's a young man for the future. Freshman from Concord, California. He has not had a negative yard this year as a freshman running back. Still learning, just fair on blitz control, they told us.
He is. You watched him in practice. He's got all the tools. I mean, Alonzo Highsmith kind of set the bar around here at fullback, but this guy has more talent with the ball than Alonzo. Let's see if he can block like Alonzo Highsmith used to block.
There's that draw play, and Clinton Portis into the game, picks up about a yard on the carry. It's interesting that DJ came in as a highly touted linebacker. He was the defensive player of the year in high school, and he went to the coaches and said, you know, I've seen the linebackers, and I think I'd like to be a fullback. And so the coaches took him up on it and said, let's do it.
Really got to give it to this Florida defense. I mean, Miami is trying to run the ball. They run it now 16 times, but they only have 79 yards rushing. Florida has forced Miami to go play action pass and throw the ball. They're not giving them easy rush yards.
Second down and 9. Dorsey drops it off to Portis, the running back, and well defended. Nothing doing that time. Lito Shepard, number 3. Star now and certainly going to be burning brightly in the future for the Gators.
And Olito, he made the tackle, and you got to admire him, the size he is. But when you watch Travis Carroll, the middle linebacker, number 55, there's no cutback on the play. The middle linebacker runs it down, and that's that speed of that Florida defense. Look at that. There's no cutback lane. Force it right to the corner, and that's what a running speed defense. We talked about it in the open, Brett. That's what Florida's game is. They run on defense.
Laportis is down, shaken up on the play. So Portis, sophomore from Gainesville. You know, this is a tough, fierce football game, and we asked Miami tackle Joaquin Gonzalez about this showdown.
A really sound defense, so when you look at them on tape, I mean, they barely ever blow any assignments, so they're going to be at the right spot at the right time, and it's just going to be one of those games. It's going to be a fist fight, and it's a tough guy against tough guy.
I think that sums it up, folks.
Yep.
It's 13-10, and it has been tough guy against tough guy.
I think John Hoka, the defensive coordinator for Florida, has to be thrilled with his defense. They're not backing down. They don't look like they're holding their breath out there. They're attacking and playing good Florida sound defense.
On the third down, Dorsey fires high and got his man, but that's just short of the first down.
Dorsey's pass complete to number 84, Andre King. From Hardy on the tackle.
Andre King.
That's a kind of a bad play by your senior receiver right there. Running a third down pass play, a half a yard short of a first down.
Lito Shepard back deep. And the punter from Rock Springs, Wyoming. He caught a few breezes, I'll bet, in his high school days. Hangs this one up there. Strong leg. Fair catch inside the 20-yard line, right at the 18. Well, right now, let's check in at South Beach. And how's it going down there, John Saunders?
Brent, it's a loud group down here. A lot of Oklahoma fans and Florida State rolling in. And coming up on the National Car Rental Halftime Report, we'll look ahead to the FedEx Orange Bowl. Your dad's going to join us.
Yes, I was with him the last two times he coached here against Florida State, against Oklahoma. He lost both of those games. I'll be glad to ask him how he's going to change that record.
0-3 overall. Again, we're looking ahead to a terrific national championship game. It's all coming up on the National Car Rental Halftime Report. Brent.
Yeah, John, and perhaps it's only one half of a championship. Let's not overlook the AP fellas. They can vote for whomever they want. Here's that handoff now to Graham, and the Canes jump on him right now. William Joseph right there leading the way.
Loss of the yard. Brought down by Dan Morgan.
Miami has 2 timeouts left in this half. Dan Morgan, middle linebacker, reads it very quickly. Very tough to block. This guy's got strong legs, will not fall down a lot. You won't see him on the ground. But should Miami stop him here with good down and distance, I think they use a timeout after this play.
23 points, Mr. Danielson. 23 in the first half. We expected 30-some at least.
Yeah, there's still time.
Here's Graham on a running play. Final minute of the half, and he finds lots of daylight. Oh, breaks free, crosses midfield. And now the Gators have got 26 seconds to work with. Morgan chasing him down. 41-yard run, and that changes things here for the final 26 seconds. Now Spurrier's got us thinking, let's get me a tie if we can.
Very nice bounce out. This is what you look for your running backs to do. Get the handoff and bounce outside. Bounces to the outside, got blocked on the linebacker that time. Very poor technique from Rumpf right there. He should have turned the running back inside to where all the help is. Rumpf is the guy that broke down the corner that time.
What an effort by Morgan, ladies and gentlemen. Number 44. He came flying in there against Graham. Now a first down. Steve empties the backfield. Grossman gets time. He'll hoof it in. Pump fake. Now fires it, and he's got Caldwell. The seconds ticking away, and they can stop it. with 13 seconds left. They stop it on the first down with the 15-yard gain, and now Chandler and the Gators are looking at a tie. But before that, Spurrier's got a chance to strike it toward the end zone.
But he really wasted his last time out there. I don't even think Steve wanted this timeout, because they could have gone out and grounded the ball. They only have one left, and now they have to throw the ball into the end zone or kick a field goal here. Here it is, all 22. The defensive secondary is playing deep, and what a good job Grossman does. He does not want to run it here, and he says, somebody please change your lane. Come on, receiver, somebody get open. So far, nobody's open, but right down here, there goes a guy right there at the end of the play to get it. Gaffney, is he open? I don't know. He's kind of waving there. I guess I'd have thrown that one down there. But at that point, Grossman had his eyes on the first down, and he made a good play. But I do not like the timeout called by Florida. It forces them into throw to the end zone or kick a field goal. They could have gone up and just spiked the ball very quickly. It would only cost them 1 second.
Caldwell has had a career first half here. He has caught 6 passes for 110 yards. That's a career high for Riche Caldwell. So Miami shuts down Gaffney, and Caldwell jumps up. Gaffney's got 3 balls for 35 yards. And now on first down, remember, final seconds tick away in that upper left-hand corner here in the half.
Miami must defend the goal line here.
And Grossman, pump fake, strikes to the end zone, intercepted, picked off by the Canes, who survived the threat on the Leonard Myers interception as the first half comes to an end.
The timeout killed him. It forced the throw into the end zone. Miami played it perfectly.
So instead of a tie, it means that Miami takes a 13-10 lead into the locker room here at the intermission, and Steve will be very unhappy that he did not get a crack at that tying field goal. Let's go to Jackaroo.
Well, Coach, it looked like you were going to be able to tie that thing up near the end.
Well, we wanted to throw one in the end zone, but we didn't quite do it what we thought we were going to try to. So, yeah, we're not playing real well, but we're only 3 down, so we got a chance.
Are you surprised that Miami's using so much of the running game?
No, I wish we could. I hope we got one run. Maybe we can do a little bit more.
Thanks, Coach.
So here's the interception as the first half comes to an end. Myers with the pick. So here it's 13-10 Miami. We go back to South Beach in Miami. John Saunders and Terry Bowden. John. At the half of the Nokia Sugar Bowl, Miami leads Florida 13-10. You can take a look at our first half stats. The only turnover was that late interception thrown by Florida after they'd used their timeouts down in the end zone. Everything else is pretty even. Now, our AT&T player comparison here, Gary. We take a look at our 2 quarterbacks.
And this is also pretty even, and a lot of mistakes made by Dorsey to get him throwing less than 50%. Grossman's having to avoid the pass rush, making plays, and he's also had some drop balls against him.
Interesting, pretty much of a defensive game.
It really is.
So far, it hasn't broken open.
That has surprised me in this game, and I think what you're seeing is athletes on both sides of this defense kind of dominating these offensive teams. And you know, usually Miami and Florida kind of overwhelm other teams they play all year, but when you match them up even and even, it's like watching the NFL on Sunday. The defensive players are tough to account for.
It's kind of like the NFL, and you know, we got a lot of players that are going to go on to the NFL,
Exactly.
and you get into the playoff situation, and defenses tend to dominate.
Right.
That's what we're seeing here tonight is Ken Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey has to really focus in on his reads here the second half of the game. I thought it was one series called very badly for him where he went deep on 2 straight plays. But after that, I think he kind of was trying to get too many big chunks in the passing game. Grossman, he needs to continue to pick against that Miami defense. They're starting to squat, though, now, Brent. They need to do that little stutter and go against them.
Well, just a short time ago, Jack Arute spoke with Miami coach Butch Davis.
Let's talk a little bit about the first half. Your running game got very effective. Do you stick with it?
Well, yeah, our football team is absolutely at its best when we're having some success running the football. We really missed some chances. We had to settle some from field goals that we really like. We pushed them in and gotten some touchdowns. But we've got to keep doing the things that we're doing. Be efficient, take care of the ball, play good on defense.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
You know, one of the things that adds value to the Miami season has been the performance of the Big East and the Bulls so far. Yes. They are 3-1. Boston College, a big winner over in Honolulu. West Virginia down in Mississippi in the Music City Bowl in Nashville. Pittsburgh was their lone loser. Tough game against Iowa State in Phoenix. And then in the Gator Bowl, Virginia Tech coming away with that 41-20 win. And so I think that gives a lot of value to the schedule, and maybe we should ask those computer guys, did you undervalue the Big East results this year? You got to wonder about that. Well, this is a pretty good bowl performance here now.
Brent, you know, it's all about matchups, and some of these matchups I think favored the Big East teams, and especially a healthy Michael Vick. Remember when Miami played against Virginia Tech, Michael Vick was not 100% in that football game.
Well, if they can win this one, Miami, they'd be 2-0 against the SEC in the Bulls. That's always impressive. Here comes Jones out now for the Canes to the 22-yard line. And Jack, how about the injury report?
Well, Portis is absolutely okay, just had his bell rung, but the news is not as good for James Jackson. Jackson had such a great running game going for the Miami Hurricanes, Brent. He has been taken to the Saints locker room to have his foot x-rayed. They suspect there may be a problem beyond a sprained foot.
Yeah, that's too bad. So Jack will continue checking reports there, and that probably means Portis. And he's in there at that tailback spot. He'll have to carry the load now without Jackson. Davenport could switch from fullback to tailback if they need him. And a play fake, but it's Brown from behind with the game's first sack. Big number 13 came rumbling around from the left defensive end spot that time.
He beat Gonzalez. He did not believe in the play fake at all that time. Brown was on go for the quarterback. He said, you're not running the ball on first down. Look, he got off before the snap right around the corner, and Gonzalez did not get his hands on him, and that's really a surprising sack against those two outstanding tackles for Miami, and that's very disheartening to this offense.
8-yard loss. Tough second down here for Dorsey and the Canes. And Portis will pick his way just out to the 17-yard line. It'll be now 3rd and long for Miami. You know, Gary, you made a very good point. Well, let's take a look at this on
Snapshot of Alex Brown right here. 2-time Lombardi Trophy semifinalist. Really came on the second half of the season with 7.5 sacks, 2-team All-SEC, but he was not as dominant this year as he was a year ago. You talk to the coaches, they believe he needs another year to really establish himself.
3rd down. Here comes Alex, and he gets picked up this time by Portis, and rolling the other way. Intercepted. Ratliff's got it at the 40. Picked off as Dorsey on the move. Threw a bad pass, and Kewan Ratliff, the freshman from Columbus, Ohio, picked it off.
Well, the sack forced a change in strategy. They brought Dorsey outside of the pocket. He's not comfortable throwing on the run, and then he tries to force the ball downfield. Look, at Portis has to block Brown one-on-one. Dorsey knows that, but then he forces it down. He's got away with a bunch of these, but now you're throwing the ball to someone on half the field, and that safety comes across and eats that play up all the time. Finally, Dorsey playing with fire gets burned.
Rex Grossman and the Gators start from the Canes 36 with their first possession of the second half. Graham runs daylight, huge hole. Battles off the corner and goes for a touchdown. Oh, Blades blew the tackle. Oh, how did he ever get by number 7? Big time run by Ernest Graham, the sophomore from Fort Myers.
Oh, Ratliff got the interception on a terrible play by Dorsey, and you're right, Blades tried to go high, and on this tough running back, the straight arm put Blades in the back pedal very quickly, and the last one of the first half was 41 yards. The first one of this half, a touchdown.
Chandler for the 4, and there's movement down in that line. And short time ago, and I'm going to give Gary full credit, as we watched Graham on his touchdown, he had said to me, big game experience favors Florida. They've been in tough situations. And look what happens. They get a turnover here. And right away Graham comes. There is Blades just fanning on the tackle.
Two of them.
Terrible effort.
Two of them. You know, I don't know about the effort. Technique was terrible.
Yeah,
I'll buy that.
Word.
You know, I mean.
Defense offside.
Better word.
We have the distance to go. Retry it.
But I think that sack, that first down sack, really threw Miami in a defensive mode. They didn't, that first down play called, the sack, all of a sudden they try to run a scramble to the outside, and Dorsey kind of a fish out of water in that scramble to the outside. He'd been playing with fire all day, as I said before, and that time picked off for a turnover touchdown.
Extra point is added. Gators lead it by 4. 17-13. The Ratliff interception. Dorsey with Alex Brown coming from the blind side, rolled hard to the right.
And anytime you're rolling to the right, you shrink that field down, and that free safety says, you aren't throwing the ball way to the other side of the field. I know you only have about 10 or 12 yards to throw it, and I'm going to cheat over there. And then Steve, who loves to run the ball in the second half, much like Mike Shanahan with the Denver Broncos, who Steve talks to constantly, says we at Florida like to throw the ball early and pound the ball in the second half.
Charles Schwab will make contributions to the scholarship funds of each of the universities represented in the Bowl Championship Series. So the coaching continues from the assistants on the Florida sideline as the Gators, who led this game 7-0, then gave up 13 unanswered points. Now they're back on top 17-13. And another fine Chandler kickoff. And the Hurricanes will have it coming out from the 20-yard line. And now let's take a look at the Tostitos game summary. How we got to 17-13 with 13 minutes to go. You can see the total yardage there, with Florida now leading, and a big run by Graham.
Big run, and you know, this is a defense that only averaged giving up 333 yards a game all year. Florida State toasted them with some yards in that football game, but overall they have not been in a lot of tight ball games.
So that defensive front will try to protect Graham's touchdown advantage now. Williams, and they swarm all over him. Fine defensive line play, and the defensive line coach right here, Rod Broadway, and this is his last game with the Gators. He goes up to North Carolina to work with the Tar Heels. He'll work with a good friend of ours, John Bunting, who was an assistant coach right here with the New Orleans Saints. Helped put the Jim Haslett show on the road. Played for Dick Vermeil up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Was on that championship staff a year ago in St. Louis, and we wish John and his staff nothing but the best up in Chapel Hill. And Manuel, who has played well here tonight, Gary, appears to be in some pain down there. And we saw Santana Moss trot off the field. And Jackaroo, what are we hearing about Santana?
Well, Brent, Santana Moss was escorted to the locker room just a couple of moments ago. And as he was walking in there, the trainer has told me he is suffering from a suspected left hip pointer. They're going to go in and further evaluate it, and then we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, man, we hope that Santana's able to come back into this game, and we'll take a break right now.
The Nokia Sugar Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by Charles Schwab, a proud sponsor of ABC and ESPN Primetime Football. AT&T, a proud sponsor of the 2001 Bowl Championship Series. AT&T, boundless. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries. And FedEx, official sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series.
Well, Manuel still being assisted to over there on the sideline. That puts a big hole in this defensive backfield. Freshman Gus Scott, number 37, checks in. Unfortunately for Miami, they don't have Santana Moss, and they don't have James Jackson right now. So a fierce toll being taken down there on both sides. Dorsey under pressure, and it is complete. Jones trying to pick up the slack with Santana out, and he twists to the 34, a gain of 13.
Alex Brown is unbelievable getting off the line of scrimmage right here. You don't have much time, and this is why the timing route like this. Get it back. Brown's going to come in there. Get rid of it, Dorsey. Throw it. Nice timing. There's that little hook route, 10, 12-yard route that everybody has in the offense and needs to be used against quick rushing teams. Dorsey has to change up the snap count. Right now, Brown has a feel for the snap, and he's getting off like lightning. They need to draw him off sides a couple times.
Using 2 tight ends without Santana. Come to the running game with Portis. Slips inside, and suddenly 3 Gators just slam the door shut, led by Buck Gurley, number 99. And let's check in again with Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, while you check in with William, Mark Manuel is about ready to go back into the game. Why? It's a simple elbow sprain. He said, hey, I can play through a lot more pain than that.
They'll need him out there, too. Ellis checks in now, and Alex Brown will take a break. He has been a warrior here tonight.
They go 3-man line this time and use linebackers to come around the corner.
And they're going to run on it. Short of the first down. Travis Carroll was there, but so too was Gus Scott, who moved up.
Well, Clinton Portis was kind of ribbing Jackson all week that he was going to be the leading rusher in this football game. As you look at Manuel back in the football game, if he is, that's not going to be good news for Miami.
Third down and 2. Williams at fullback in front of Portis. The toss to Portis behind Williams. The freshman gets the block, and Portis busts the 50-yard line for a gain, first down, 11 yards.
First time I've seen Miami get around the corner of this quick Florida defense. I think Florida was really geared in to an inside run this time. They bring the tight end across and watch the hook block out here, and Williams comes back out and picks up the linebacker to the outside. This is what you want to do. You got to feel for it. Williams comes around, low block on the linebacker, and there you go. Portis gets the huge first down for Miami. That's Gonzalez down, isn't it?
This is a fierce game.
Yeah,
we
really
have had one player after another. So it's cold outside. It's now only 36 degrees as we dip down near that freezing mark, and the winds staying about the same. Oh, it's chilly when that wind comes in off the river down there. Whoa.
Where I'm headed eventually, this is would be Gulf weather. 36 degrees. So.
Got to go back to Detroit,
yeah,
not Naples.
I gotta go.
Okay, first down now. Vernon Carey checks in at that right tackle spot. You know the Gators will try to attack it. Dorsey goes sideline, and he got it for another first down at the 35. Shockey for 11 yards.
Well, he's a big-time receiver. He is really valuable because he's a tight end and he blocks, but he also is able to split out and go against a strong safety and run like a wide receiver. The guys in Miami say he's a wide receiver in a tight end body. And when you watch him practice, he makes catch after catch after catch in practice. And that's when your quarterback gains a little confidence throwing to those big, tall guys.
Gonzalez returns to right tackle after missing that one play. First down. They come back with Davenport. Nothing much doing. Travis Carroll, number 55, leading the Gator defensive charge that time. And this is just about as tough a football game as you can imagine. And again, some of you read the reports of the Donnybrook that started over in the French Quarter last Wednesday. About 20 players, we are told, got into it, and it wasn't just all mouthing and pushing and shoving. There were some pretty good punches thrown, and fortunately, nobody was hurt. You know, it's so easy to twist a knee or fall and hit the concrete. Kind of a stupid thing to do. Second down now, and Dorsey rolls. Looks for an open man, gets a block on that corner, and takes it out of bounds for a gain of about 4 yards.
It's going to be 15 yards on Miami there. Late play, and it's going to cost them. DJ Williams, the freshman. Gerard Warren that time made an effort to get Dorsey, and then Williams came back and I think shoved Warren when he was down. Well, we're gonna pick it up. Thank you, guys.
No foul.
Look at the end of this play. Warren dives out, overcomes Williams on the play, shoves Browns over, and the flag goes out, but I think that's a good pickup. Make me look bad instead of the game look bad. That's always better.
So it goes to 3rd down. The Canes with the ball at the Florida 32-yard line. They need to get inside the 25 here. They need 7 yards to pick up the first down. They trail by 4 points, 17-13. Gators show blitz, and they're coming on Dorsey. It's picked up, fired, got it. Nice reach back that time by Andre King, number 84, to pull it in for the first down.
This is when it helps to be a big quarterback, tall, because look at the pressure inside that Dorsey's going to get, and he just kind of throws over it this time. Pressure there, throwing from the well, puts it right there in a nice reach back. That is a big-time play, helping out the big pass from King that time.
Good recognition by Portis, too, Gary. We saw him slip out. He saw the corner coming in. Davenport and Williams are the running backs. Big back attack, and it'll be Davenport behind Williams on a cut block on Manuel. Penalty flag is thrown.
Davenport, the ball carrier, flags on the flags. Travis Carroll on the tackle.
See, I'm not real dumb. I know now to be quiet until they give me the penalty.
There you go.
One interception's enough, that's all.
Exactly. There's Butch Davis. Done such a fine job down at Miami. Every time an NFL job opens up, he's rumored to be headed there. He's interviewed by the Houston folks. Not to mention Steve Spurrier. Washington Redskins did inquire, and Steve said no, very happy, and has an extension. Highest paid coach in college football.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty, spotted foul. Still first down.
If my memory is correct, this is about the 4th time Miami's been inside the 30-yard line, and they've scored once, but I think there's 3 or 4 times they've been forced into field goal attempts, and that's good defense by this Florida team.
So here comes the long first down now. Play fake. Dorsey on the move through low to Williams, and it was defended by Byron Hardman, number 42, the sophomore. He was right there. And Jack, what about Santana and Jackson for Miami?
Well, Brent, good news and bad news. Bad news is for James Jackson. We will not see him the rest of the evening. Indeed, the negatives have turned up a problem with his foot. Now, for Santana Moss, I just talked to John Uribe, who's the orthopedic surgeon, and he says it's a slightly sprained back for Santana Moss. They feel that they'll be able to get him back, just not sure when.
Yeah, so they lose their leading rusher, Jackson, 62 yards here tonight on 12 carries. Timeout being called by Miami. They trail it by 4, and they're looking up at a 2nd and 22. Santana Moss is back, stretching, trying to get the back limber over there. Miami, meanwhile, dominating this quarter, Gary.
Yeah, one play by Florida, but it's equal a TD. I'll take that.
And the result is a 17-13 Gator lead right now. 8.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 22 for Miami. And now it's 3rd and 22. As
knocked
Dorsey
down again.
And here's a penalty flag.
Dorsey's been getting knocked down almost every time he throws the ball, or at least someone in his face when he throws the ball, and that's causing a lot of errant passes.
Roughing the quarterback on the defense. 15 yards.
Man. Oh, gee. Let's see what happened. Dorsey still has the ball, gets hit. Well,
I'm in agreement. I thought that Warren reached in after the ball was released and pulled him down off the jersey. That's what I thought right there. Just yanked him back. I'm not sure that the referee, Gary, has any other choice in that situation.
Probably. You know,
because
Dorsey
it's so easy for, he might not have, you know, hurt it, but you've got to let go in that situation.
Dorsey is slightly built, and Warren goes 300 pounds. That was an easy teardown right there.
Yeah, he has been whacked and sacked here tonight, but huge penalty. First down, slant, no, badly thrown ball, and almost picked off by Alexander. Oh, he had him on the slant. Dorsey is off.
Yeah.
He's not nearly as sharp as he was against Florida State. He's throwing more like he did against Washington in the first half in Seattle.
Yeah, and he had a bad game in that Washington game, but here he leads the receiver way too much. Should have been picked off. Lito Shepherd has not been in the game for a while for Florida either so far in this series. Alexander's in there. You wonder what's wrong with Lito.
2nd and 10 for the Canes. Great protection. Doc Williams, touchdown Miami. Credit the offensive line, folks. They let Dorsey stand there and stand there. And D.J. Williams, the freshman, broke wide open down by the 5-yard line. A 19-yard touchdown against the Gators.
And you said it before he caught it, Brent. Protection, and when you give a guy like Dorsey protection, he really does what he does best. There's the fullback. Throw the ball with touch, a little flat and go. 2 guys follow the tight end, and you wonder if spreading that Florida defense a little thin without Shepherd, the corner, should have fallen off and made that play.
Severs adds the extra point. Miami regains the lead. Look what I've got. And the freshman does the rest. There are many who felt that the Nokia Sugar Bowl would be the best game of the entire bowl season. Our lead here tonight in New Orleans has changed hands 4 times in this game. Miami making an argument to be at least the national champion as far as the Associated Press is concerned. Back in the lead 2017 now and kicking it off. Bo Carroll with great speed. Checks the clock. Ratliff is back there alongside him. Carroll with a chance coming out from the 1. And the Canes attacking fiercely. Down at the 17. I'm not sure that I've seen any better special team coverage by 2 teams than I've watched here tonight.
When you put it together with a great kick and a great attacking cover team, you got it.
A reminder tomorrow, Chris Winkie and Florida State in the FedEx Orange Bowl will take on Josh Heupel and unbeaten Oklahoma. It's the Sooners and the Noles for the championship of the Bowl Championship Series rankings. As you take a look at the 2 quarterbacks with Winkie's 1-loss record, 11-1. That loss came at the hands of Miami as Florida State was wide right late. Bo Carroll will get a shot at running back right now. Grossman changes it up at the line. To the middle, Caldwell again.
Boy, inside, Lewis thinks it's holding it. It is. Damian Lewis has been a force inside. He's played as well as anybody on the football field.
Holding on the offense. Has the distance to go. Still first down.
They'll back the Gators up inside the 10-yard line now. The ball is spotted at the 8-yard line. Still a first down, but they need to go all the way to the 27-yard line. As Carroll motions out. Draw play, Graham. And wrapped up by Howard Clark, number 45, who had just been sent into the game by the Miami assistant coaches. He had just entered the game. They had a very good read on the Gators trying the draw play down there.
Right. What they're doing is matching up Clark with Ernest Graham. When Clark came in the game, when Graham came in the game, so did Clark. When just Bo Carroll is in the game, they take one of their linebackers out.
Yeah, so they keep them both in as they have this series, and then they motion Carroll out. Grossman snaps it off. Carroll being used as a receiver, and Blades slams into him at the 25-yard line.
Carroll. Run out of bounds by number 7, Al Blades.
The aerial coverage here tonight at the Skyline in New Orleans is provided by Nokia. The lights twinkling. One of the great cities in the world to come for a party. 12-yard gain. Ladies have a nice time here at the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
Scored some good seats there too. They must know somebody, huh?
Indeed. 3rd down and 2. Daylight. And Bo Carroll. Did he fumble it?
Yeah, one guy's calling it down.
I thought he might have been down, and then the scramble happened afterwards, and that's what they're doing right
Real interesting. Steve Spurrier kind of just coaches with his gut. You know, I mean, you got Graham having a big game in the SEC championship game. Bo Carroll falls out of favor. So what do? They come back to Bo Carroll in this football game. You know, you kind of wonder why he does it, but he really trusts his own instincts during a football game, and that's what they say around here. You're only one snap away.
I don't think he was down on that replay.
So I don't either.
And the crowd got to see the replay, and Grossman is sacked at the 16 by Clark. That is the first sack of the game for the Canes, who suffered a very bad break on this play. Take a look right here as Grossman's blindsided, and he never had a shot against Clark, who came rolling in on him.
That's what you call the old blown protection right there, and also to the backside. You always hope they blow him to the front side so you can see him. That time Grossman, no chance.
Second down.
They've been able to throw the ball over the middle, Florida has, when they wanted to pick up yards.
Grossman's under pressure again. Gets away from Lewis. To the left, he's going to throw it on the move to Caldwell. Incomplete. Edward Reed, number 20. Let's go back. I'd like to take one more look at that fumble. Bob Goodrich, ever alert down there in the truck, said he thinks that maybe he coughed this ball up. So you watch the knee now as he is spun still in the air. No contact with either knee right now as Reed jumps in. And is the ball coming out of there right now? He was on top of Reed.
Yep.
When he slipped down.
Probably was. You don't know if the official blew forward progress at the time. That's the only thing you don't know, but clearly it's one of those ones could have gone either way.
3rd down and 19.
What are you, okay?
Miami in a gimmick defense right here. They're going to come out of it. They're showing blitz, but they'll back out of it.
But they got there. And then Caldwell drops the pass. But they were about ready to smother Rex Grossman that time.
Yeah, they did it by sugar blitzing is what it's called. You put everybody in the line of scrimmage, and you back out and hope they blow it. Florida kind of blew it that time because 2 receivers were in their same spot. He said, look, nobody came. Nobody came. What are you doing? Well, you can't see everybody this time. And 2 receivers read a break off, and they should not have both been doing it at the same time. And here they are. You should not have stopped.
Now Darrell Jones goes in with Santana Moss, bothered by that injured back. So he'll see what he can do with Ryan's punt. Penalty flag. Won't be doing much with this one. There's a flag. On the hop. Out of bounds. At about the 45-yard line, but there was a flag.
sure that right here that Florida has to repunt this thing. There was a nice return on it and not a very good punt.
Offside on the defense, 5-yard penalty, free kick.
So they come back to do it again now. So even though they did not get the call to go their way on the fumble, they're going to wind up with the football. So there was not much lost if it was a bad call, and it was not an obvious one down there either.
Field position a little bit. I mean, they had the ball on the 25-yard line, and unless they get a good return here. Last time Miami went for the block, this time you assume they'll go for the return, but they don't have Moss in the game. It is a return.
Jones has plenty of daylight. Got the middle. Here he comes. A punter to beat. Tripped up and down at the 25-yard line. And it was the punter, Alan Ryan, the senior from Sebring, who tripped him up. But it was a 43-yard return and a touchdown-saving tackle.
Well, Steve gambled a little bit, but I like his gamble. You got a coach to win. This time the punt, the coverage was not great. Miami put the return on, and boy, Jones just gashed it. This is a tremendous tackle right here. I'm very surprised that Jones didn't take this one to the house.
Santana Moss on the field. He's flanked out to the right. They're going to run Portis to the 20-yard line. We come to the top of the hour with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and Miami leading Florida 20-17. Our touchdowns have looked like this. The Gators with the first one on a pass by Rex Grossman. Then Kenny Dorsey came back. Ernest Graham with a splendid run. And then DJ Williams, the freshman, walks in from the 3-yard line, and it's 2017. Canes back in the lead now. Second down and 6.
Watch those big tight ends for Miami. Both of them are playmakers.
They'll run for it. No, great fake again, and they come out to the tight end. Out of bounds on the 9-yard line. It is Shockey who scored that touchdown, and the young man Ken Dorsey with another superb play fake and a 16-yard gain.
Very simply coming across, coming inside, very similar to the touchdown route. Clear the defense. When you got a defense, you think those tight ends, they're playmakers, come back out and says, hey, Florida's trying to stop us from scoring, so you do a little misdirection and throw, and Brent, it's weapons. Weapons, weapons, weapons this Miami offense has.
He absolutely froze the two linebackers again. He made him stand there and respect the play action. Davenport, the big back, with the call, top. He had to be a world-class long jumper to take it in from there. He'd have been out there in Powell and Beeman territory. Wow, he took it off, didn't he?
Well, he went to the right side. He went behind McKinney and LaFleur, the big side, the strength of that offensive line, and got pretty good yardage on it. Set it up, the possibility to run it right, jamming it into the end zone. Second down is also the down Miami likes to use their little play action and slide their fullback into the flat.
Get the clock situation all straightened out here. Now he winds it. And here we go.
DJ Williams at the tailback spot this time.
Davenport would be the lead blocker if they want to try and play fake. Dorsey's looking for Davenport. Can he get there? Short. Oh, my, what a catch for a touchdown. Oh, Najee Davenport took it away from the DB.
Second down is the play action down.
A big score for Butch Davis and the Canes. A chance to take a 10-point lead. And the staff with a terrific call. High snap is quickly brought down, and the lead is 10.
Now, this was a pretty gutsy throw by Dorsey right here. Davenport was not wide open, but the touch of Dorsey throwing it in there. big risk, big reward. Going to slide Davenport right out of here, take the tight end to the back. Watch the coverage. This is decent coverage with the linebacker right on him that time. Kendo Johnson, and watch the touch. Throws it to the outside, just outside. Kendo Johnson, make a play on the ball. Looked like it went right through his hands.
If you watch this, Kendo Johnson probably should bat it away.
Absolutely.
Instead, he goes up trying to make the pick, and it goes right through his hands, and Davenport has the touchdown instead.
I wonder if we could watch it one more time. Did Davenport nudge him from behind with his body? See if he nudges him to throw him off balance. A perfect play. Watch the right shoulder. That's actually what happens. He goes to get the ball, and Johnson misjudges it right at the last second.
27-17.
What a play by Davenport. What a throw by Dorsey. A gutsy throw. That could have been an interception. And everybody would have been saying, why are you throwing that ball?
High and short. Here comes Carroll. Squeezes the most out of this return to the 28-yard line. Well, a pretty good former Cane is down below. Mr. Warren Sapp, the Jackaroo Jack.
And Brett, you guys have been talking about liking great defense. This is the guy that defined it at Miami, but you don't think that Kenny should have thrown that ball?
Hey, sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good, and right there we were.
Compare this team, Sapp, to the teams you played on for the Canes.
Well, I think this ball club has a better offensive game plan. Their running backs are a lot better than the ones we had. The receivers are kind of equal, and the O-line's a lot better, but nobody played defense like we did.
I was going to say, what about the D?
Yeah, we were something special, and these guys are doing a good job right now. Got a 10-point lead, and they just got to keep it going.
Well, it's great seeing you.
Thank you.
Now it has to be Florida's turn. In this quarter, they have been dominated. Only 3 minutes and 15 seconds of possession. They've run only 6 plays.
Excuse me, Brent, but that's the second time Taylor Jacobs has not been on the field for 10 men out there, and Florida has had to use a timeout.
So when Warren Sapp, who was down at ground level, saw it, he obviously said, oh no. He saw Kendo Johnson step in front of Najee Davenport, and he had a clear shot at this pass.
And look at the coverage. I mean, that's a gutsy throw. You throw it with that type of coverage, you better make the play because everyone is going to question. And Davenport does a nice job, like Randy Moss, kind of getting up there. And you can see how Johnson went off balance and really misjudged it. He should have easily knocked that ball down.
There's Davenport.
Merry Christmas, Chris. Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, one for all.
And there's Dorsey, who gambled and won. Came up 7 for him. Thrown for 223 yards with 3 touchdowns here. He's a cool customer.
Sure is. He's only thrown for over 300 once this year. I think once in his career, and that was against Florida State.
Now the Gators go empty in the backfield. Grossman. Middle. No, it's dropped.
Gee.
And Gaffney is not having a good night for the Gators.
Well, you know, a quarterback can't throw it any better than that. You just put it right on full speed. Gaffney's going to come over the middle. That's where you make the plays. Now this is right to the house. If he catches this, he's going right to the house, right up here. And Gaffney coughs up the second clear pass. Freshman of the year has not come through so far.
Second down and 10. Grossman looking middle again. Another one is dropped, this time by Aaron Walker.
I'll tell you, I'll give it to Grossman. I'll give it to him because he threw with Cornelius Green, number 98, right in his face. It was a little behind, but good enough to catch. And watch this. Green's going to come out, stunt in, watch Grossman get rid of this ball. That's a quarterback. That's what you expect your trigger guy to do and make plays.
Grossman's only 1 of 5 this quarter, and he's missed his last 4.
We got to come up with a new stat. Those shouldn't count when they drop your perfect throw.
This one they hold on to, but well short of the first down. It means that they are forced to punt. Well, Saturday, ABC Sports travels to Australia to bring you the first big golf event of the new year. Ernie Els, Hal Sutton, Justin Leonard, Vijay Singh. They're among the best competing in the World Golf Championship Saturday at 2 Eastern and Pacific right here on ABC.
Well, after you get one run back on you, you start to hurry up. Let's see if they can do it again.
Gerald Jones with a fair catch at the 22-yard line.
I think this is the first critical series of the game for the Florida defense. They have to have a stop here. They could get away from them if they give up 7 more.
Let's check in with Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, you know, coaches love to show team films to motivate their players. We talked about Remember the Titans. Butch Davis went one step forward. What Butch did is he got, you know the movie, The Gladiators, and he put it on a channel at the team hotel. They didn't have to get together, the team, to watch the movie because Butch got his very own channel. He said, I want them to watch it. Not only did they watch it, Butch played it for 24 straight hours on their very own Hurricane movie channel. He said it promoted team unity. I think it promoted some.
And we got to watch it free. Dorsey on the move to the right, on the run, complete to Santana Moss for a first down for the Hurricanes right now.
The comeback route, a route a lot of college teams just refuse to throw. And this time, Miami is starting to feel good about themselves. They've probed, they've found things, and now they say we can move the ball on these guys. Florida has to have a stop.
Got no more than a yard as Alex Brown makes a stop.
Yard. Alex Brown on the tackle.
Dorsey brings him out on 2nd and 9. To throw back, and the play was blown up, and Dorsey runs for a first down. He read that the Gators had defended the play perfectly, and he takes off for 12 yards.
Smart play by Dorsey that time. He wanted to go to Portis that time, but Portis couldn't get out of the backfield. He ran into Alex Brown in his route. Dorsey saw it immediately and says, I'll just get upfield for the first down. He's really settled down into his game, and I think that Florida defensive line is starting to tire. They've been getting pounded on now by that big, huge Miami offensive line, and they're having trouble coming off the ball with the same intensity.
Time. Sideline. Dayline. Shepard's got it on the interception. The ball hung a little bit, and Shepard, with that great closing speed, jumps back to save the day for the Gators.
Just as Dorsey was going to let the ball go, he got hit. And the ball just faded because, look, this is a clear takeoff. This is a touchdown. If it's thrown deep enough, Moss is accelerating. Shepard gets fortunate and gets the short ball. Needed to be a 4-iron. It was only a 6-iron. Watch, just as he let the ball go, he kind of gets into the pocket, gets a little bit of a push inside from LaFleur, and he never could follow through, and the ball died. Huge stop by Florida.
The Gators need a little possession attack here. Yeah. Get some first downs, get that defense rested over there. They'll try a running game, and Graham brings it out for 11 yards on that before Reed brings him down for the Canes.
Dan Morgan is so good playing these plays inside out usually. This time he overruns it a little bit, and Graham reads it. Watch Morgan, number 44. Bad angle outside, runs himself out of the play. He needed to fill real tightly on that play, and that's why Graham was able to pick up the first down. Let's look.
Here's Graham. Morgan, among others, is right there.
Carry 25. And Morgan on the tackle.
Good average here tonight. Still, they've been unable to get that long drive going. Remember that long touchdown run, a good portion of what he's gained here tonight.
I'd say about 75 yards over 2 runs.
Play fake Grossman. Coming underneath the Graham, the running back. And he hustles for a first down. As the final seconds tick down here on the third quarter.
First down at the Gators 34. At the end of the third quarter.
So the third quarter comes to an end, and in that quarter, the Hurricanes dominated. First, it was Jones who replaced Santana Moss as the punt returner because of Moss's back injury. Then Davenport, battling, pulls down the touchdown pass from Kenny Dorsey. 1 quarter to go. The Canes lead it by 10.
This is ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series.
Well, the big question now, Gary, is whether or not the Gators have enough firepower to get back in against his defense.
I think they do. They can't give up any more points, but they continue. I think with Grossman throwing the ball, they continue to patrol the ball. They just got to hold on to it. I mean, they got to catch some of those great throws.
Well, over on the sideline is a young man whose daddy you certainly remember. There's Jared Payton, Walter's son, number 34. He's been redshirted this year, and Miami still expects big things from Jared, running back. Interesting story about recruiting him. Walter did not want him to be a running back, wanted to be a safety. He asked Butch Davis, what are you going to do with my son? And he said, I'm going to make him a running back. He wants to be a running back. And Walter said, oh, okay. And here's Rex Grossman from that pocket middle. And Gaffney makes a fine catch that time. Reaches up at midfield, hangs onto the ball, and just like Gary Danielson pointed out, that's what the Gators must do in the fourth quarter.
They really do. If you're going to throw the ball at Florida, you have to be good enough to throw the ball over the middle. And if you're a receiver, you have to be tough enough to catch the ball over the middle. Gaffney had a couple of drops, but on the toughest one of all, he went up and got it, and they're still in the ball game. When you can throw the ball like that, there's plenty of time. Just love the way they attack the field in this pass offense for Florida.
Graham again slips a tackle, runs behind Caldwell, who does a good job of blocking. And if they give him the spot, they will. That's another first down for Ernest Graham, who's like a heavyweight fighter down there, taking it on. This is some fierce contest here tonight in New Orleans.
Well, Ernest Graham thought so highly of coming out of high school. He was the workhorse. Injured a year ago. Kind of started out slowly this year. Everybody was a little bit wondering where he was and why he didn't produce those yards. But as he's gotten to be the featured back, he really looks much better. Just give him the ball and give him the ball.
Inside the Cane 40.
Nice blend right now for Florida.
Hit on the release. Is there a flag? You bet there is. Caldwell cut and couldn't get around Philip Buchanan, who interfered with him on that play. There was no question about it.
And Brent, there's probably not much Buchanan could have done. The ball was thrown behind him in short, and Grossman got hit right at the end by, I think it was by Lewis again. Was it Lewis again? What a great game this guy's having. That produces the short pass, but you can see Buchanan, he has no idea it's short. And when Caldwell tries to get it, it's going to cost us 15 yards. Not much you can do on that one. Just give it a little smile.
Big difference from the NFL. They don't give them the spot of the interference. It's the 15, and they'll take it inside the 25. Gary, which rule do you like better, the NFL or the college?
I think the NFL should add a rule. I think it needs to be a judgment. If they clearly pull him down, give it at the point. But if it's just incidental, make it a 15-yard penalty. Give the referees another one to blow.
First snap for Grossman.
You buying that one?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Good idea. Here comes Graham. And yard that time. You see big Kenyatta Walker, number 78. Some of the defensive players, Blades there.
I mean, it was Damian Lewis again blowing up this play inside, and he's playing like Sapp and Cortez Kennedy over there. I think those guys must have told him that we signed checks for $6 million. I mean, we get paid $6 million bonuses. Come in and dominate. Watch number 92 again. In the backfield all night, he's been playing with effort like that. And I think the big guys on the sideline said, Damian, you want to make some money? Just get in the backfield. You can make money like that guy right there, Warren Sapp.
Second down, and Hagebrook is in that left slot for Grossman. Now he's got to watch the clock.
Yep.
Once the Canes jumped late, Grossman went to a second audible against a late move by the defense, and the Gators jumped, and it cost them. That is the 9th penalty against Spurrier's team here tonight.
It cost them 5 yards, but I think they would have got sacked anyway, and they would have lost a down on it. So maybe 5 yards and getting second down over isn't the worst thing in that situation to happen. Florida's already burned a timeout, and they're down 10 points. They can't burn any more.
Butch Davis, one-time defensive coordinator for Jimmy Johnson at Dallas, pulling some NFL rabbits out of the hat with that late move by the defense. Here now is Graham to daylight. 20, 15. Blades takes him out of bounds at the 9-yard line. It'll be first and goal after a 20-yard run. Graham now has run for 135 yards.
Great block by Rod Frazier that time. Number 40, watch the fullback. He's blocked right now in front of Graham. There he is. Watch him come out and cut down the linebacker. That makes the play. When you get your fullback, take out that outside leg, you can pick up 20 yards. And that Frazier name is very, very familiar to a lot of football fans in college football.
That is Tommy Frazier's brother. Tommy, of course, carved up the Gators, and Nebraska won that national championship, scoring 62 on them over in Tempe. That record's broken. Nebraska did it in Northwestern. Overthrew Caldwell in the corner of the end zone on first down. And the receiver is down over there. Riche shaken up on the play. Now he appears to be okay.
Grossman got away with one here. Eddie Reed, the safety, is baiting him to throw the fade. Watch him start to run immediately at the snap. He's got the fade. Watch this. He runs. I got you deep. I got you deep. He almost gets there and gets his 9th interception of the year. One more step and he would have had it. That's how you got to be careful if you're a quarterback. Find the free safety. Hold him before you throw the fade.
Reed from right here in Louisiana. A lot of friends and relatives. Watching him short drop, quick fire, high, incomplete. Rumpf, number 8, defending Gaffney on that play, but the ball was thrown too high.
Amazing watching number 92 Lewis just go through the middle of that Florida line. Remember, Florida State only had 1 sack in the game against Florida. Miami has pressured them, I think, more than Florida State did in the game we watched. Put more pressure on the quarterback. Haven't been getting sacks, but they've been pressuring the quarterback.
There's a late personnel change by Miami. They think they've got a read on this play.
6 defensive backs.
Grossman shotgun look. Fires, no. Caldwell and Myers there.
It's a big 3 points, though. Gets it back to 7. Graham was open. Graham is going to slide out to the outside. They try to go to Caldwell on the hook inside the end zone right there. Watch Graham right in the flat. Could have got it to him and maybe turned it up with the big fullback and got in the end zone. Grossman went for the touchdown. You can't really fault him on that. But sitting up here, I'll bet you Steve goes, you could have gone to the back.
Chandler with a 26-yard field goal, and it's important. So he pulls it down to a 7-point Miami lead with 12:50 to go. The Morgan Stanley Dean Witter well-connected storyline, Gary.
Thank you for handling that hard part. All I got to do now is say that Dorsey tried to get the ball to Moss 8 times, 4 of them for catches. The last one, though, was an interception when he threw the ball late. The offensive line, though, has been giving it to Graham. making those holes. And I said that Graham had to rush for over 100 yards for Florida to have any chance, and he's over 100 now, and they have a chance in this football game.
Jones and Johnson are back deep, and the Gators will try to camouflage who's coming with the kickoff. Will bury the Canes back in the end zone. Anyway, it'll come out on the 20-yard line. So Jesse Palmer loosening up over there on the sideline, and that always means something as far as Steve Spurrier is concerned at the 12:44 mark. Overall for the game, Grossman is 18 of 40, less than 50%. He's thrown 251 yards. He did throw one touchdown, and he threw that one interception at the end of the first half as they were attempting to get down for a tying field goal. He's only 4 of 11 for 43 yards this half. That's just under 4 yards an attempt, and that's not a good number for Spurrier and the Gators. Here is the toss play. They run the freshman out of the tailback spot. Nothing doing with DJ Williams. In case you just joined us, the Miami Hurricanes have lost their top tailback, James Jackson, to a foot injury. So Clinton Portis, Najee Davenport, and DJ Williams for Butch have been picking up the slack.
A year ago was Portis that had to step in because of the injuries when Jackson got injured, and now that experience is going to help them here. They're going to very young in the backfield. Sophomore, and freshman. Those three guys, the key guys, quarterback, fullback, tailback.
Dorsey underneath Santana Moss. And gets a few more from Benny Alexander before he's forced out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Again, Lito Shepard not in the game, and you can see Benny Alexander does not like to move up. He doesn't have the confidence that Shepard has.
Well, certainly Santana Moss, one of the most exciting players in college football, not only the offensive player of the year in the Big East, but also the special teams player with 4 punt returns for touchdowns and a Miami record.
Man, remember, this guy walked on at Miami. He was caught in a high school system that didn't feature him. But you know what, kids, guys, they'll find you if you're good.
First down and 10. Portis is stood up by the Gators on first down, led by Hardman. Jackaroo.
Well, Gary, you're absolutely right. Santana Moss not only walked on, came from a run-oriented high school team, but one of the things his high school coach said, every time Santana Moss came up to the line of scrimmage, he held his hands in the proper position, he ran the routes precisely, and the coach kept telling Santana, look, someday it'll all pay off for you. Now that he's playing for the Hurricanes, it has.
Again with Portis. Stopped short of the 35-yard line.
Florida guessed right that time. They brought up the safety. Manuel late, 8-man front. Miami ran right into the teeth of the defense and got nothing.
Will checks the sideline. Meanwhile, another player, Lito Shepard, being tended to over there with that injured knee.
I thought something was wrong with him. He was out of the game too much in this game for him, and I've seen him play before.
Third down and 6 for Dorsey and the Canes.
Moss is not in the game here either, is he? Oh, yes, he is. He's going to come back underneath here. Go out, come back underneath. Here he comes.
Got him. First down.
Just like they practiced it. Just like they practiced it.
Well, on Saturday, January 20th, the road to gold leads to Boston with the USA's Best, featuring Todd Eldridge, Timothy Gable, Sarah Hughes, and 4-time U.S. champion Michelle Kwan compete in the State Farm U.S. National Figure Skating Championship Saturday, January 20th, live at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, here on ABC. First down and 10 after that pass to Moss. Santana Moss with 6 catches for 89 yards. Andre King. Portis again. He burrows his way to the 49-yard line. Strong 6-yard run with Manuel making the play defensively.
And Miami now has run the ball 32 times, passed it 36 times. They love the balance they've got in this game. For the year, they've averaged 39 runs and 31 passes all season. Remember, though, you do a lot of running at the end of games when you're ahead. So I think their blend right now makes everyone from Miami feel comfortable in the game plan.
Davis again for the first down. Reaches for it. First down.
First down, carry brought down by Travis Carroll.
What a dependable backup he is, Portis. You know, 1 year you pay the price for playing freshmen, and then the next year they pay off for you when you need them.
So Carroll was shaken up on that play, and you could see him flex his hand as he comes to the sideline.
Second leading rusher, 12 this game. He's only run the ball 77 times this season.
To that running game with Portis. Breaks free. 25. From behind at the 11-yard line. Run down by Darrell Owens. A 35-yard burst for Clinton Portis, the sophomore from Gainesville. Yep. And wouldn't he like to have a big game against the Gators?
Well, remember, Florida said, we want you as a defensive back. He says, I want to play running back. Sometimes the player's right, and Portis looks like he's got a bright future. Smart runner, a lot of talent. He and Jared Payton next year are going to be a tremendous duo at tailback. That offensive line, the power of that offensive line. This is a great drive.
Portis told Jackson he'd have rushing tonight, and he has. Lost one, gave it back that time on the penetrating move by Warren.
61. Warren, Rob Warren.
8.5 minutes, and the Gators need a stop. They trail it by 7. They're trying to keep the Canes out of the end zone. 10 is manageable, not good. 14 is uphill all the way. Here comes the 10th play. Dorsey to throw for it. Got daylight. Santana made a grab and went out of bounds. Out of bounds. No touchdown.
Oh, beautiful audible that time from Dorsey. He saw the safety come in the middle. He signaled the hand signal out to Moss. That time he faked the quick slant and went for the fade. This is being a quarterback. This is what you got to do. Do the film study. Check off to the right thing. Fake the slant this time. A little late with the ball. He could have thrown it just a fraction earlier. Obviously, he should have kept it on the field. Does he come down? No. Great call by the official.
Here's third down.
You just don't throw the ball when you're a quarterback. You think your team into the end zone, and that's what on this drive Dorsey's been doing.
And remember, Shockey has been a big target. He's already scored one here today from that tight end spot. We'll throw back underneath, and it is dropped by Shockey.
A little bit behind him that time. No way he could have scored. Good idea, good plan, good read. 2 poor throws, or not great throws. Let's be more fair to Kenny. 2 not great throws. They could have scored a touchdown with the first one.
So Butch Davis's Canes kill 4:58. 4:58 off the clock with that drive. Now Todd Severs to boost them back to a 10-point advantage with this 29-yarder. Just shaved the upright. 7:48 remaining in the football game. So Portis, 14 carries on the day, 81 yards, the leading Miami rusher, and this run sets up the field goal. 30-20, Miami.
The Nokia Sugar Bowl, this ABC Sports exclusive, brought to you by Inspired Technology with a Human Touch. Nokia, connecting people. Burger King, got the urge? The makers of the all-new Dodge Caravan, Dodge Different. And Nortel Networks, we're building a new high-performance internet.
12, Melvin. 8.
So we're back at the Louisiana Superdome, and Shockey's still shaking his head that he wasn't able to hang on to that last pass, but he did score a touchdown here tonight.
He really has. He's been a big target when Dorsey's needed him. Coming across the play action fake and finding him for the first touchdown of the game. He's been big.
Carroll ready. 7:48. High is short. Picked up by Kite. And Kite is smacked around the 20-yard line. So Grossman trots back onto the field.
You know, he's 18 for 40, Brent, but the pressure he's been under and the drop balls, I think he's played pretty good game tonight. Second half, they have never been in sync. You know, you've mentioned a couple times you think Miami has a handle on what they're doing. I do think they have their audible call. Maybe they have more than that.
Yeah, they have really jumped the Gators plays here tonight. First down and 10. Grossman and intercepted. Picked off by Buchanan. And right now Spurrier is second guessing himself for not changing quarterbacks. He thought about Jesse Palmer and he's second guessing himself right now.
Well, Grossman just figured that he had the underneath guy, and that time you had Philip Buchanan just reading his eyes. He's standing right here, okay? This guy's going to go down. This guy's coming right underneath, and Buchanan says, I'm sitting right here in zone, and I'm looking at you, and I'm not going anywhere. I stand there, I read the delay, I step right in front of it. When your quarterback getting hit just as you let it go, you don't see what's happening. Grossman forced it, paid the price.
Here's Portis. Now trying to wind up with a 100-yard night. In our aerial coverage tonight here in New Orleans, provided by Nokia on a bitterly cold night, certainly by New Orleans standards. The other day they even had snow flurries here around the area. The hearts are warm though because of the New Orleans Saints, who will move on up to Minnesota this week. The NFL playoffs, having won their first playoff game ever. What a treat that was to watch the fans as the curse was eliminated here from the Louisiana Superdome. 6:54 now, and the Canes are going for the coup de ball game. Dorsey going to throw Davenport again, incomplete. And tomorrow night, of course, you'll check out the one remaining college football game, the FedEx Orange Bowl, and it'll be a good one. Chris Winkie and the defending champions will take on the only unbeaten team standing, Josh Heupel, the Oklahoma Sooners. And if you look at some of the bowl game scores, you think that maybe Oklahoma might be better than some folks thought. Consider the Nebraska score jumping on Northwestern. How about Kansas State beating Tennessee? Just maybe. We'll find out tomorrow night. Third down. Dorsey's got a wide open Wayne, who's been quiet. First down at the 5-yard line.
Boy, as it was that beautiful. That's a big-time receiver right there. He just snatched that ball. Great timing. Dorsey has a great feel for throwing to receivers coming towards him. He takes something off. Same play. Really, that was interception. One guy goes, one guy clears for the next. Watch this. One guy clears it. Same play. But there's the ball a little earlier, and what a snatch. And look at that one hand. Just turns it upfield. Pat is a big-time receiver.
First catch since the opening quarter.
Kid you not, there's a lot of NFL teams who trade their two receivers for these two guys even up.
First and goal. Portis to the middle, battling to the end zone. Still battling away. Stopped just short.
22nd and goal from the 1.
Well, Portis ran for 138 yards last year when he made freshman All-American and running back. This time controls the ball, covers up, and just short. Emmanuel just stops him, and well, actually he fell forward, but you know, I think Miami will take second in inches.
Folks, this next play could be for the BCS computers.
Oh, gotta go for it.
Just a little message here. Davenport is stopped. The Gators saying not this time. The Teal. Trying to get another touchdown now. They've got only one chance to win a share of the national title.
Big stop. Keep it to 13 points right here.
Bet it is. Remember, Florida State ran up and down in the second half on the Gators. Butch knows these are for style points right now. Up by 10. He came into the game favored by a touchdown. Davenport still battling to the end zone. No signal yet. No signal. Now hands go up. Davenport would not be denied. And a penalty flag comes.
It's going to be on the Hurricane coming in there right at the end. Yep. 0-0 right there. That's who got the 15.
That may be my favorite penalty of the year. Butch, go get the. He says, go get that mascot. Get off the field.
Get that S. Starts with an S, ends with a B. Davenport push forward, falls over, and now
here comes Ibis.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh yeah,
here we go.
Way to go!
15 yards. Gives him a big kiss for 15 yards. The big Ibis. And Butch says, "Get him out of here."
Yes, it is. There's the long extra point. Okay. All right. And do we have another play? Yeah, we do.
Illegal participation on the kicking team. There were 12 men on the field. It'll be a 15-yard penalty. We kick.
If he could get his hands on that mascot right now, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, he's joking.
And it is an important point because, 8-8, it's still a two-possession game. So, I mean, it makes it the 17th point is a big point.
Absolutely.
Coaches, they think the worst all the time.
Well, Todd Sievers has had a 50-yard extra point once already this year. And we've got about a 43-yarder. This will be a 50.
Oh,
and he makes it. Oh, the mascot is off the hook. He should rush out. No, maybe not.
Get off the field.
So it was set up by an interception by Buchanan. Grossman's second interception of the night. And it proves costly. The Canes lead it by 17. Najee Davenport with 2 key touchdowns. And Miami leads it big 37-20 right now. Kicking it off. And they will go all out to stop the Gators and even to score again if they can.
Remember Najee, ACL against Ohio State in the kickoff classic a year ago, missed the whole season.
Carroll from the 1. Runs it out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Well, let's go back now. Florida State. This is what these two teams did against them. The Gators had a tough time moving the ball at all. They lost 30-7. And Miami against Florida State, they beat them 27-24 in Miami. The Florida game was played in Tallahassee. We'll be right back. So after that interception, Jesse Palmer checks in for Steve Spurrier and the Gators. 4:11 Miami 37, Florida 20.
I wonder if Jesse's going to meet Damian Lewis like Rex has all game.
Palmer comes to the middle, and Graham. Morgan is there at the 30-yard line. Gain of about 6 or 7 yards on that play. So next spring, Steve Spurrier has already said the quarterback battle is wide open with Brock Berlin, who was a freshman this year. He was the high school sensation out of Shreveport, not far from here. Never lost a high school game. He'll get a chance to win it against Grossman. Palmer, the senior, snaps it off to Gaffney for a first down. Now let's take you back to that game in Tallahassee between Florida and Florida State. Things sort of turned around in the BCS because of this result. The way Florida State manhandled Florida that day was at night. Winky to Minnis, who broke wide open off the corner. He was the big play guy all night as they win that game. Here it is, Graham coming free across midfield for a first down. So the Gators with a 16-yard gain and a 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line in the hurry up. Trying to get something done right now. Graham a little gimpy off to the sideline.
Miami is trading yards for time, but you know, in the big picture, I think they need to stop Florida.
Here comes Palmer going long, overthrew Gaffney. Look, Gary, here's our FedEx team comparison here tonight.
Pretty close in this football game, but that is not where the game turned. The game turned by the defensive line from Miami. They put pressure on the Florida passing game because they did not allow that Florida quarterback to sit in the gap all day. You see Coach Picano right there saying, I got to have a timeout. I want to draw something else up. We want to get a stop. We don't want them scoring any more points.
Well, this coaching staff does not want to give up a touchdown right now.
Absolutely.
So timeout.
You're watching the Nokia Sugar Bowl on ABC Sports.
Dejection there etched on the Gators' faces as they watch the final 3:11 with Palmer in the offense, trying to march into the end zone. And a rump tackle on Gaffney at the 35-yard line. We check in with Jack.
Well, Brett, Jesse Palmer says he's got tons of experience engineering come from behind drives. He says, you know, I've done it thousands of times on EA Sports John Madden football.
Well, he needs to press the reset button to win this one, I think.
Short drop got Gaffney. And he steps out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
Passing complete to Jamar Gaffney.
I think we're going to hear a little bit more from the Miami boys after this game than before the game. Butch did a nice job of focusing his team on this game.
Yeah, they certainly handled it in a high-class manner, being denied a shot at the FedEx Orange Bowl. And they've said all the right things, but you know down inside how they feel. High, incomplete. Huggebrook. And in fact, I asked Butch Davis about the national championship situation, and here's what he said.
If we're fortunate enough to win the game and things go the way we would like for it to go in the Orange Bowl, that clearly I think it presents an argument that maybe we should have a split national championship. We've had a great season, beating the number 1, number 2 teams in the country, undefeated in our conference, a 9-game winning streak.
Yes, indeed, they've had a great season. Incomplete. Caldwell, the intended target, defended by Myers.
Well, they won all 7 of their Big East games by at least 20 points. And the only thing that they might second-guess themselves for is that scheduling that McNeese State game early in the year.
That was the difference in the BCS computers. The computer people have already admitted, because Division I AA is not factored into most of those computer rankings. And so the difference was McNeese State. As Palmer pulls it back out on 4th down. First down with Carroll. And the clock will stop inside the 20-yard line at 2:37. Now remember, late against Florida State, the Gators had the clock run out inside the 5-yard line and could not score a late touchdown. Butch Davis and the coaches and players are trying to hold on and deny Florida a late touchdown here with a 17-point lead. Here's Carroll. Close to the 10-yard line.
Well, Florida's schedule next year, well, kind of answers that. They got a nice schedule next year.
Palmer brings him up to the line with 2:08 to go from the 11-yard line. Middle, intercepted by Morgan at the goal line. The defensive player of the year brings it all the way back out to the 26-yard line. And who knows how many AP voters that might have impressed with that interception back at the goal line right now.
Just sits in the middle right there, watching Palmer all the way. Palmer tries to float it over Morgan's head. He knows he's there, tries to float it over his head, but Morgan just goes up and says, I used to play. I was a high school running back. I know what to do when the ball's in the air, and you can see he's very instinctive and knows exactly how to read those quarterbacks' eyes.
With 12 tackles and that interception in a wonderful career. Now first down. Here comes Portis, who's had a big night rushing. Well, let's go back to the difference against Florida State, because it came down to wide right again. Bobby Bowden passed up 2 earlier attempts at field goals. Late, coming from behind, tried to kick this. Munyon was wide right. And Butch Davis and Miami had beaten Florida State 27-24. You know, I've got a suggestion for ESPN Classic. About next Wednesday, I'll replay that entire game. If this thing winds up a split championship, let the public vote on which team they think's the best. This Miami team, folks, is pretty good. As Portis hammers a first down with 1:08 to go, they bring the clock down. Next year, if they had played this schedule and marched through it, they would have won the national title with the Penn State to get Washington back down there. And of course, remember, the Huskies beat Miami up in Seattle. Do they have an argument? They're only a one-loss team. Pretty good schedule next year. The Big East has played well in bowl games. It is real hard to look past Miami, Gary. I know you feel that way.
It really is. It's tough, but you know, I clearly think the rules were set up before the season started. Everybody knew this could happen, and it did, you know. And then, you know, I would not be embarrassed if I was Miami to split the national championship.
Well, they're going to enjoy this over an old rival. First time in 13 years.
You know,
and they beat the Gators.
And they're at least state champs.
For sure. They have swept the state. They should hand them a second trophy down there in Florida.
And that's a pretty good deal for the state of Florida to be state champs.
Just like the Gladiators. They did it as a team. They win it by 17, 37-20. And now Miami will turn it over to Florida State, Oklahoma, and the voters. And let's go down to Jackaroo, Jack.
Well, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. It was a great game. Our kids absolutely had as fine a performance as we've had all year. We pride ourselves in playing great at the end of the season. Florida's a damn good football team. They played extremely well. Our kids, you can't say enough. I'm so proud of them.
What about the Associated Press?
Well, I mean, I just hope that people recognize the fact we've won 10 straight. We beat the #1 team, the #2 team, beat the #6 team tonight. I think we got a shot. I think we ought to be national champions.
Enjoy yourselves. Miami's back.
Thank you.
A class act, 37-20. Miami beats Florida tonight. The FedEx Orange Bowl. Oklahoma versus Florida State tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ABC. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Keyword ABC College Football. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence. So long, everybody.